You're on mute. Hello, everyone. Happy MLK Day. Happy MLK Day. Before we get into anything, we want to thank you all for coming here to celebrate with us. We really appreciate that. We would ask for you all to go ahead and like and share this video. Hit like first because some of you guys don't do that. Hit like and share this video. We will get started once we have 50 shares. So let's run it up with the likes and the shares. All right. While we wait for everyone to share the video, should we go ahead and play this amazing song right now?
Let's do it now while everybody's
We're
sharing.
going to play a song by one of our local artists, one of our supporters. His name is Jamarius Tubbs, J Tubbs. He does so much in the community. He is a Black entrepreneur as well. And we're celebrating our Black entrepreneurs today. So we want to make sure that you all know that this song only costs 99 cents to buy on any platform you can find. Pray by
Yes.
J Tubbs. This is a social justice driven song for our community, from our community. Listen up and buy the song after the show. All right.
All right.
Share, 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 share.
Change. And trust is all love, but we fight. Uh, what the fuck is going on? Try to put a noose around my neck, I'm still going strong. Seeking home just to ease the mind. Pain try to rise and joining the hurt in my eyes. Surprise, I fight them off like a Tyson brawl. Down around 3, I'm a beast and you not at all. All lies is beautiful, whether you like it, hate it. Talk shit behind my back, I'm still telling people appreciate it. And fuck you, I'm real, I'm a king, bitch. I hear y'all speech, all subliminal bullshit. Half the shit they saying is moveless. From politicians to the bloggers to the mothers and the fathers. Regardless, this negativity is in the water. Like Flint, Michigan pipes. Niggas snapping pictures, benefiting off the hype. It's like we don't care about people. The year's 2020, that was 1960, man. I swear this shit's a sequel, a flashback. Brother shot down like it's NASDAQ. Hashtag that. Why you scoping my profile? The daily task of emasculating a soul child. Wow, I could have been Mike Brown, even Eric Garner, maybe Walter Scott, but something I am not. A nigger, but a nigga with an attitude and gratitude to be half as mad as you. I thank you. Cause it made me who I am. When the world don't give a fuck and my peers can give a damn, and the justice system fixed both a crooked president shit. But I lack intelligence. Can I get a break? Can we get a break? Can he get a break? Can she get a break? I don't really know how much I can take, but I got my head high trying to keep my faith and pray and work and pray and work and pray and work and pray and work. We know our worth. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Can I get a break? Walter Wallace Jr., Martin Sterling, George Floyd, Carlos Carson. Can we get a break? Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain, Mary Rice, David McIntyre, Daniel Pruitt. Can he get a break? Rayshard Brooks, Jonathan Price, Castile, Brandon Mills. Can she get a break? Natasha McCann Jones, Sandra Breonna Taylor, and Tatiana Jackson.
Yes. Can she get a break? Can he get a break?
Yeah.
One of these days we're gonna do a lyric breakdown to that song with Jamarius, because when I tell you that the lyrical content is so powerful, So thank you so much, Jamarius, for allowing us to use that song, and also just to shout out Jamarius J Tubbs. Speaking of service, in the spirit of service, J Tubbs actually put this song out, and instead of taking all of the proceeds from that song, he actually contributed and gave donations to ChangeMakers and our work from the merchandise and the song. And so we really really appreciate that, because that's really what we have to do. We are going to have to make sure that we support each other, because we're all we got. Honestly,
Yeah.
we all we got. So if you didn't know, I am Daylana Saunders. I am a co-founder with ChangeMakers Fort Wayne. ChangeMakers Fort Wayne is a social justice activism group, and we serve the community. We serve the disenfranchised. We serve the communities that are hurting the most. We believe and advocate for the people who are closest to the pain, being closest to the power, being closest to the resources. We advocate for Black people not being out here traumatized and having to do the work to erase racism, because we can't actually do it. So we make sure that we partner up with our allies. We have some amazing, strong allies in the community, and that is something that Changemakers do. We partner up with the people, Black Lives Matter, the people who know that, and the people who are allies and also believe that. We partner together and make sure that we uplift this community that we so love. And so I don't want to get off on a tangent or anything, but thank you all for sharing. I don't know if we've actually, Alicia, did we actually reach our sharing
We
uh,
did.
goal? We did. All right, y'all. Thank you. You guys are amazing. My computer is slow, so I'm a little bit behind. But Alicia, do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Absolutely. So my name is Alicia Roush. I'm one of the co-founders of ChangeMakers Fort Wayne, and I am a mother, an activist, an organizer. Yeah, so that is who I am. I think I've I've definitely out introduced myself this year.
Right, right. So something that we do on a regular basis is we have these awareness panels. Our panels are to spread awareness about various topics, protecting Black women, protecting Black men healing their trauma. Just a lot of different conversations that we have that are necessary for the healing of our community. And so, yes, we introduce ourselves a lot, but I do believe that every single panel we have new people, so we have to continue to introduce ourselves this way. Since we can't hug you and shake your hand, we'll just keep introducing ourselves from afar. All right, but we are celebrating the beloved MLK today. Today is MLK Day of Service. His birthday was January 15th, and today he had 3-day weekends. They made this a holiday where this Monday was designated as the day that we celebrate and commemorate our beloved MLK. So, Alicia, celebrating Martin Luther King, pillar in the community, strong Black man, relentless, speaking truth to power. Why is this day important to you?
Our Black leaders are hard, like hard to come by these days, especially someone who can gather the masses from every group, Blacks, minorities, whites, every group. And he was able to do that and then just embody being a powerful, strong leader who always spoke truth to power to empower his people. He was able to gather all these people together for one movement for change. You know, like today we need those leaders that can bring our communities together to fight towards one common goal, you know, equality. So it's so important to, you know, reflect on everything that he was able to do, and his quotes, his words, his knowledge, all those things, and just bring it back to reality. And so we can use his words and everything that was going on while he was alive, that it's still happening today, you know. So everything that he spoke about is sadly still very relevant to what is going on right now. So I think it's just important that we always reflect back, and hopefully we can have leaders of his quality, of his strength, in the future.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That is something that, I was disappointed with this summer. I was fairly disappointed with the lack of leadership coming out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. This was a time where our young people needed guidance. They needed empowerment. They needed encouragement, and instead they were condemned. They got a lashing for speaking up. And so that is definitely what we need, our strong Black men today, for sure, that are not so critical of the movement or of the people that they miss the message, that they miss the frustration and the trauma. We need wise and men with discernment, women with discernment, that can actually see that this person is not speaking from just from anger, but also just from years of built up trauma. And so yes, for anyone out there who's watching, and that you have a voice, and that you have empathy and compassion for people, this is what we need from you. We need for you to speak up and speak truth to power. We say that a lot. I want us to kind of break that down a little bit. What does it mean to speak truth to power? It actually means that you need to hold elected officials accountable for the things that they are supposed to do for our country, but also let's go local, for our state and for our city, for our county. We have to make sure that they do what they say they want to do, and then also just what they're supposed to do. How do we hold them accountable? I mean, there are various ways. It just depends on what we need to do. Sometimes you have to take it to the streets. Okay. One thing you guys heard this entire summer was take it to the streets, defund the police. Take
Yeah.
it to, y'all know. So that we may have to
That's a
take it
little Milwaukee coming out of you. That Milwaukee.
say it again, Alicia.
I said that's that Milwaukee coming out.
I'm telling you
Yeah,
now.
the
Okay.
Frank City crew.
Yes. Shout out to Frank Nitty Crew.
Uh,
So yes, there are several different ways you can hold elected officials accountable, and you do it your way. If that is writing a letter, write a letter. If that is consistently writing emails, sending in emails consistently, send in those emails, and then find your people. If you're a teacher and you're around a bunch of teachers who can convey a message through an email, get a group of people and you guys send those emails every Tuesday. So there's so many ways to hold our elected officials accountable. And so one way that we wanted to remember and honor MLK today was to utilize our voice to uplift people in the community who might not have been awarded just yet, rewarded just yet. We may not have heard of their voices just yet, or their businesses yet. But we wanted to take some of those businesses that may have been in the shadows, definitely successful, but in the shadows, and we wanted to uplift them on today. It's just very ironic that all of those businesses happen to be ran by women, Black women, entrepreneurs. And so kudos to them, but we wanted to make sure that our day of service was servicing the Black community. Buy Black, support small businesses. We know that the Black community is disenfranchised and has been disenfranchised and held back and left out of things, a lack of resources. And so we want to make sure that we let the community know that these products, these services are out there and they are needed. These women are positively Black in our community. And that's exactly what Dr. King advocated for. That's what he gave his life for.
I want to hit on what speaking truth to power, because we've seen a lot of speaking truth to power recently. And another way that you can speak truth to power is literally speaking the truth without wondering what the repercussions of your truth is going to be. A lot of times we have things going on in our community that we need to speak about, and they need to be put out there. Don't be afraid of the repercussions, the funding that you're going to lose, the friends that you're going to lose. You need to hold those around you accountable and always speak your truth, so it's important.
Definitely, definitely. And so we have a business that's coming up really soon, called Events in Color. So Events in Color, we're waiting for you in the waiting room. You are up next. But that is true. When you walk this journey of activism and community organizing, you might get called nasty, right? We've seen women in power that speak truth be called nasty. You might become a troublemaker, or they just want attention, or don't support them. They're not professional, things of that nature. Okay, we have a few people who are a little bit lost. Yes, we are on the ChangeMakers Facebook page live. Go to my, I can't message them back. Go to my page. You can find it on there. But so we want to make sure that you all know that there's support. When you want to speak out, you might deal with those things. We have been called radical, as if that's a bad thing. All types of things, but we know that MLK, a quote by MLK that I absolutely love, is when he said, "Our lives begin to end, okay, the day we become silent about things that matter. Our lives begin to end, cut short,
Hmm.
the day we become silent about things that matter." So if you sit in a boardroom and you know something has been wrong and you don't say anything, you're cutting your life short. When you know your community is suffering, I don't want to be preachy today, okay? But for the preachers out there, when you know that your community needs food, but you don't do anything to make sure that funding goes to the businesses and the organizations that are giving food and providing food. When you have the crab in the barrel mentality of thinking that this is something that we actively have to cut down every single day, is that crab in the barrel mentality, because that was put upon our community as well, because we've had to fight for a lack of resources.
Yeah.
But when you know that you have a position and that you could put somebody else on, but you don't, because you don't like them, or you don't like their personality, or you see another Black person as your competition,
Mm.
those are the things that will begin to end your life.
Yeah.
I would much rather have purpose than power. I would much rather have purpose than materials.
Yeah. I
That's just
want to cut my favorite quote. One of my favorite
what is
quotes.
your favorite quote, Alicia?
Girl, let me tell you. Every man of humane convictions must decide on the protest that best suits his convictions, but we must
Mm.
all protest. Everyone has their own way of protesting. There's not a wrong way to protest. There's not a wrong way to speak your truth.
Oh
Everyone
well,
has
I do.
their own
There might be a
timing.
wrong way to protest
Well,
now.
there could be. There could be. I guess it depends on
What'd you say? Now that I think
it,
about
it
it.
depends on it depends on how you look at it. But everyone has their own lane,
Yeah,
and their own lane to follow, and we need all those lanes. We are in a war, and we
yeah,
need all our soldiers, you know.
yeah. All right. Once again, we are going to call for T Cook to log into the Zoom. But yes, Alicia, I love that. Everyone must protest. If you believe that sitting at home and you being successful, I've heard people say that I'm successful, therefore I'm an example that we can make it. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Not when the larger percentage of your community is suffering. Your small percentage is not an example to enough people for you to be able to not say anything. It is our obligation to say something. And I'm so thankful. I want to thank all of our sponsors, and we will name you all a little bit later. I want to thank all of our sponsors and all of our supporters that made this happen. We were able to have this showcase because of the support of our sponsors. And so we really, really want to thank you all. And we're going to shout you all out if you're not shy, if you're all right with that. We want to shout out to the community members who did have their day of service today. That could have been handing out food or clothes or there's so many different things that were done in the name of service, in the name of commemorating MLK. And so we want to shout you guys out, and we want to thank you for that. And so we are actually going to go ahead and start with, I see someone trying to come in. Danielle, you can go ahead and come in to the live. I see you clicking in.
Here.
For any of our businesses, go ahead and log on to the Zoom. All of you, go ahead and log on to the Zoom. And we're going to begin our interview time. Now, what we're going to do, guys, we have trivia today with prizes. So this is how it's going to work. We are going to type trivia questions in the chat. The first person to get the trivia question correct will win the prize. We will announce the correct answers at the end of the showcase, and we will inbox every winner with directions to receive your prize. So we're going to have trivia and we have prizes. So we're actually going to go ahead and drop our first trivia question in the chat. And our first trivia question is, what was, Alicia, are you putting it in the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
What was MLK's birth name? What was MLK's birth name?
Somebody know it. Who knows it?
The first person who gets it.
Don't be cheating.
I mean, I guess we can't really see if you cheat. So, let's see. Alicia, do we have our businesses in the?
We do not. No one has joined yet.
All right, ladies, we are looking for you all on the Zoom. Where are you?
Everyone can go ahead and join the Zoom now. If you are watching, join the Zoom link.
Mylisha, bring Black up. Lola, we're looking for all of you all. Go ahead and log on now.
We've got Shayla.
All right, we are going to go ahead and start with Shayla. Is Shayla on screen?
Nope, she got back out.
You don't need the media ID number, ladies.
Cecile, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Hello. Yes. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing really blessed today, and you guys are doing awesome. So yes, what's going on?
Hello.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
We're excited to have you. So we have Bring Black up in the building. Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
What's up, Bring Black Up? So do we have my Lisa in here as well?
No, we do not have my Lisa yet.
So should we go ahead and get
Yeah, let's start with Bring Black Up, and let's get their information here. So I'm just going to give a rundown of who you guys are here. Bring Black Up is a production group composed of Black women dedicated and led by Lisa Kelly to uplift the Black community in the city of Fort Wayne. They provide venue spaces and opportunities for local vendors, create platforms for upcoming entrepreneurs, and they also highlight Fort Wayne's most talented upcoming artists. Their goal is to support our city and invest in its growth by connecting our resources to build a better community. Okay.
That is awesome. We are so delighted to have you all. So Cecile, I actually learned about Bring Black Up. I believe it was right, maybe a few weeks after the protest happened, and there was so much going on in the city that it was a breath of fresh air to have positivity and also an outlet and an event where Black people could come and allies can come and feel at home and feel that positivity and revel and enjoy the culture. And so, can you tell us what sparked the creation of Bring Black Up?
So, my Lisa Kelly is actually the original founder for the Bring Black Up platform and foundation. From my understanding, this event kind of came from her heart and her soul when she wrote one of her songs, "Pray for My City," and due to the George Floyd situation that was going on over the summer and all of the highlights to all of the inequalities that came out over 2020, she wanted to use this song as a platform to say, for Wayne, how can we look at ourselves and do better? Through through her methods, through expression of music, art, and just unity. And so from that essence of that, this is where she came up with Bring Black Up, and to just bring up the unity of the people, to bring togetherness, to have understanding, and to, yes, come together as one to change the wrongdoings that we might have control over into our city. So this was one of those methods.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for that. So just sparking, so oftentimes adversity will spark creativity. This is why a lot of people ask or wonder why the Black community is so creative and artistic. And it's really a lot of it actually comes from having so much adversity and so much pain. Like they say with Mary J. Blige, why are her albums so amazing? And it's really because she's had some breakups, some problems, some issues. And so this amazing creative idea actually came out of, just my Lisa seeing what was going on in the community, and that is amazing. And so, how did the rest of you, the ladies, come along? Like, what did you see about it that made you want to come along and be a part of it?
So my Lisa is a good friend of mine. Met her through a quick hair appointment. She hooked me up, and I said, "Oh, this looks nice." And through that, we just kind of talked and shared, well, what type of skills that we have. What is our goals, our aspirations. You know how it can be when you're sitting down with somebody doing your hair. The spirit flows, and you just share information with each other. And through that opportunity, we just, like I said, we just sat down and just got to know each other that way. And she came to me and asked for my help with putting this event together. And I looked at it, I moved some things in my schedule and said, you know what, let me help a friend. I got some skills, let me help her. She helped me. I pulled some women that was like-minded together. She did as well. And we all just came to the table, excuse me, and to just create that vision to see what would this look like and how can we be able to help our community. And my Lisa, with already having some steps ahead of being able to donate the funds that we had raised to two organizations in the community, she already had a mindset of how can I be able to do something for our community to help others.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so she actually put on the event to give back to those organizations who are already doing the work in the community. That's amazing. I did see that on the news as well. And so that is just some positively Black type stuff. Hashtag positively Black. So can you tell us about, like, so I like to know about, nowadays, like the Gen Z likes to buy into the business owner, even sometimes more so than the business or the product itself. So let's take what are those shoes called? Are they called Keds? I believe they're Keds, or there's a tennis shoe that was literally just a Payless sold tennis shoe back in the day. Somebody came along, I saw it on Shark Tank, and they put a name on them. I believe it's Keds. Now we know Keds are really popular with the kids today. So they popped this name on there, and now all of a sudden, this, brand of shoe is just so popular. And actually what it was the story of the owner behind the brand. So we want to know a little bit about you, who you are, and who my Lisa is. You guys, you're actually the spirit behind this business. So can you tell the audience a little bit about you? We want to buy into you.
Okay. What, I know my list will come in at some point at this moment and to be able to
Okay.
keep going. Kind of cut us a little bit off guard here, but I'm ready anyhow. A little bit about me, at least from my bio, my name is Cecile Beeman, and I am a native of California, Pomona, but I was raised here in Fort Wayne for at least a little bit over 20 years. I am a mother of two, and I am also a graduate at IPFW and getting a bachelor's in general studies with 2 minors in communications and human services. Through that time of me going to school, I served over 6,800 hours in community service through the AmeriCorps 21st Century Scholar Support Specialist program. And through that program, I truly learned and valued the moment and the opportunity of volunteerism. And that's what I'm really heavy about, is being able to give back through volunteering. Now,
Mhm.
granted, most people kind of are expecting a dollar after something, but if you really dig into something that you care about, money is not even an issue. And when it came down to doing this program, it wasn't about, oh, how am I going to be able to get funds out of the snow? It was, how can I create a vibe that would wake up the city to hear a
Mm.
message, to get some ideas going, to start thinking, how can I look in myself to be a better change? And through the artists and the musicians and the art and through the vendors that were there, it was just a beautiful moment for everybody to just come together for 3 days or 3 nights, excuse me, and just celebrate, artists that are trying to come up into that are coming up in the music, the ones who are excelling, and to share that information and just to create a network. And if you guys were able to attend, it was a beautiful moment, and I would definitely say a surprise, because out of the women that we had at the table, we were at some points like, wow, this is a lot. How can we be able to do this? And then look how God moved. It was beautiful.
Come
So
on.
that's, again, if like-minded people can create great things, no matter what color you are, it's about the future. Because our children are going
Mm.
to have to live on this planet at the end of the day. What are we leaving for them? You know?
Mhm.
So, again, that was the reason why I jumped into this, is because I wanted to help a friend. She hooked me up. I got a skill. She had a skill. The ladies at the table, we all had awesome skills, and we wanted to do something. And that's what we did. And it was beautiful that Black women and love from our Latino sisters that came in to help do this.
Come on, Black and Brown Unity. Come on, I love it.
Yeah.
I can just feel your passion through that. I
Mhm.
really can. Can you share with us about the event? Like, what was it? So, what did you guys have?
So it was a 3-day, 3-night event. Of course, Bring Black Up, November 6th, 7th, and 8th. We broke down, and like I said, my Lisa can definitely say a way lot much better than me, because she had so much passion in creating it. But just being those helpful hands, being helpful hands. Um, Again, it was 3 nights broken down into different genres that we have. Friday night was our neo soul, jazz, and spoken word night. Saturday night was our rap, hip hop, and R&B. That was lit. That was lit.
Okay.
And then we had Sunday, which was our gospel night, where we had our moment to give thanks and worship and praise together as a community. Each night, like I said, was amazing in how it turned out. The first night, again, we had special vendors out there. And special artists that really just shined out and just showed true talent. And for me, this was like the first time I kind of jumped back into a community event. I know about volunteering, I know about coordinating, and to jump back in this and to learn from my Lisa and she to learn from all of us at the table as well. It was great. Like I said, it was just a great vibe putting it together. Stressful moments, of course, but working together, the team really what turned it out. And for, like I said, for vendors that we had Lisa Clemens and her tacos there. We had Tracy Hanson and Praiseworthy Candles, amazing candles. I'm just going to say, you know, Karma Sutra, then her clothing, great clothing line. You know, then the beauty of that was, of course, creating a platform and creating a venue for our vendors to be able to come and have that opportunity to connect with the city.
Yes.
Yes, COVID did put a clamp on, you know, that interaction, but again, those moments where you have to make a move, you gotta bust a grape sometimes. And that's if you have a heart to say, look, I'm being safe, I'm being in my means, I'm being precautious, but I have a mission. You know, again, there should be nothing that stops you. But if it is up here, let's knock those things out. We got things to do. And so again, breaking all those down, we had our artists for the rap and hip hop night, ending with the cipher, and then gospel night evening where we had our moment of praise and worship. And through that, like I said, we had raised funds for 2 of our community organizations. And then there was donations that was raised also for Bring Black Up to be able to continue creating more events such as this, to be able to do this again in the community.
That's awesome. We're so proud of you all. Like we love what you're doing, and I don't know of any other opportunities or platforms for people to be able to come together artistically this way. And so we really congratulate you all. And so I know that there's you know, some woman out there or girl out there somewhere who is looking at, you know, my Lisa and you and Bring Black Up. Um, and they might not believe that their idea and their passion would go over well in the community. They may not be a popular community name. What would you tell them from your experience here? What would you tell that woman or that girl?
To If you have a goal, no matter what that is, to continue to push forward on it. We all want something. And if you want something, you got to work for it. And sometimes that can be a physical barrier, a mental barrier, a spiritual barrier. But especially as a Black woman, there's all kinds of negative arrows that are pointing at us already. It's our responsibility to look at ourselves and to look past those things and to continue building. Because again, what legacy for me, my inspiration is truly my mother.
Mm.
She was born, graduated from college here for when raised children. She did the thing, you know, and then she had to pass due to breast cancer. But she left here a happy woman, that knowing that she left great children on this planet to continue doing what she was doing, inspiring and loving and pushing and teaching. We wouldn't be anywhere without somebody telling us something that helped us.
Wow.
So again, take a deep breath, look at your tools in front of you, look at your resources, look for your spiritual guides.
Yes.
And when it gets hard, pray and keep going, because you're gonna look good by the time you get there. So, you know, no matter what you go through.
That's right.
Okay.
I wanted to, before Alicia moves forward with her question, I want you guys to make sure that you share. We have some new people on here. I'm looking at those numbers, and I need you guys to share. There's some information on here tonight. There's some encouragement on here on this platform tonight that needs to get to some business owner out there. There's somebody in the community who feels like they don't have enough support, or because no one knows me, they think that they can't do it. But there's someone out here that needs this message, and your 5 shares to that person, that page could encourage them. So if you know someone that has an idea, but they have not moved forward with that idea, I want you to share this video to their page right now, because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for that person. And so, Alicia, you want to go ahead with your question, because I've been ahead and had 3 conversations with Cecile.
So I just wanted to, before we move on to our next business and our next trivia question, I just wanted to ask, how can the community continue to support Bring Black Up? What are your, if you want to give us your Cash Apps, all your information like that, how can they support you?
So right now we are in the plans of creating new events and new programs out here in the community, such as the scholarship program, and to be able to look at other community organizations and resources that are looking for that extra support. So what funds that you could be able to give us will be able to help us create bigger events, so we can be able to reach different platforms and be able to still help out the community and build resources for those connections. Our thing is all about making connections here. Is no keep of the funds, is no from my gains. It's about giving back. Literally, it's charity work and charity events. On our Facebook page, you can check us out at Bring Black Up, right out there. And we do have our Cash App information on the web page, as well as new information being logged in and logged up all the time. So just bear with us on that information. But if you would like to ask questions or be involved as well, we also have our email page, our email address on our Facebook page. Go ahead and send us an email. My list will reach out back to you and to see how we can get connected and to continue to support our community. So yeah.
Yes.
Thank
We
you.
love
Thank
that.
you so much.
Everybody, please go and follow Bring Black Up Facebook page right now. Go and find them on Facebook and like their page. Follow what they are doing, and then donate to their efforts. They are giving back to the community. I mean, literally, it is a charitable organization giving back to the community. And that's what we need to be supporting. And so we thank you all so much. Give my Lisa my love. I hope she's going to be on here shortly so she can sing to us. But we thank you so much, Cecile, and we look forward to working with you and Bring Black Up in the near future.
Yes, yes.
All
Thank
right,
you.
y'all. Support Black. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right. So our next trivia question, I'm actually going to put that in the chat right now. Our next trivia question is going in the chat. Okay.
So what is the next trivia question, Alicia?
Our second trivia question is, what is the name of MLK's home church where his father pastored, he preached, Senator Joe Lewis attended, and Senator-elect Reverend Raphael Warnock now pastors, located in Atlanta, Georgia? I am dropping it in the chat right now, guys.
I love that trivia question. We need to know that. This was huge. Literally, that church has just been in the forefront of the news because, as the trivia question says, Reverend Warnock, who is now the senator-elect, the first Black senator-elect of, I believe, in 20 years, the 20 years for a Democrat, first Black ever, was just elected to the Senate. So kudos to all of the organizers, who made that happen. Shout out to Stacey Abrams. And so, what church was that? Let me be quiet before I've been and said something, okay? All right. We're going to bring in our next business. And that business is?
That is Roundabout Mobile Notary Service and Liquid Gold Entertainment. Hello.
Hello there.
How are
Good
you?
evening, everybody.
Hey, sis. What's
Hey
up?
there. Hey, I'm just glad to be here, and I thank ChangeMakers for this opportunity to all celebrate Martin Luther King Day, and we are living examples of his dream. So I appreciate the opportunity to tell our community about Roundabout Notary and Liquid Gold.
Yes. So I'm going to give a quick bio here. So Elizabeth Cowherd, right?
Correct.
Okay. Fort Wayne native, graduated from Paul Harding High School in 1994 and received a BS in social work from Taylor University in 2005. She is the owner of Roundabout Mobile Notary Services, which specializes in advanced directives, all general notary work, and mortgage transactions. Licenses for her business include Indiana title producer, loan signing agent, Fidelity approved notary. She can make your documents legal. And she also has Liquid Gold Entertainment, vocal actress specializing in audiobooks, voiceovers, and commercials. She can bring your books to life. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
All
Isn't
right.
that amazing?
That,
So let me tell you all a story about Elizabeth. So I met Elizabeth as a woman, a Black woman who was seeking to do the work that we should all be doing. Actually, she was intentional about reaching out to be a part of an historical organization in our community, the NAACP. So she showed me what intentionality looks like because she sought out being a part of that organization. And from there, I learned about, oh my God, her aura, which is just beautiful, Black and beautiful, like big personality, regal. And then I learned about these businesses, her being a Black entrepreneur in the community. And these services are so amazing. She's doing something that not a lot of people in our city are doing. And so I'm excited to hear more about what Elizabeth is doing. And so, Elizabeth, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Well, for one, to start off, I am a queen. I am a woman of God. I am a woman full of culture and life. I think that it's important to know who we are and know how to describe
Mm,
ourselves. I am also a social worker, and I think part of what drives my business is the fact that I am a social worker and I innately have the longing to help others. So that is
mm,
innately in me to help others in any fashion that I am able to. I think in these unprecedented times, we need to show more caring for one another and be sympathetic to the challenges that many of us are facing, especially in our African American communities here locally and abroad. This is a unique time like none other.
that's right. That's
absolutely.
right. I love how you said that we need to know how to describe ourselves. I
Hmm.
love that. Because in this work, we know that oftentimes we will be described as things that we're not.
Hmm.
And, you know, the higher that you climb that ladder of justice and success, you know, you'll be called more and more because
Mhm.
Black women who are going after what they want, saying how they feel, and they're open about it and not ashamed about it, we're called radical and loud and things of that nature. But you said, no, I am a queen.
That's right.
Let's be clear. I am a woman
Yes.
of God. Let's
Yes.
be clear. Okay.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it. I love all of those descriptors. And actually, you're not just saying it, but you have been those things. And I have witnessed you being those things. And so I know that that's going to actually be pervasive and shine through your businesses. So can you tell us about Roundabout Mobile Notary?
Well, Roundabout Mobile Notary was initially birthed about 2 years ago now. This coming February, good Lord's willing, I will be celebrating my second year anniversary. And Roundabout Notary was birthed in a time that I was facing many challenges. My life was shifting to a new season. So I recognized that, and I took some time to myself to focus on myself, what I wanted, and what my dreams are, and what I would do to put action and legs to those dreams and things
Mm,
that I had. So in Florida is where I decided to, take a break and reprieve and regroup. And in my moments of meditation and prayer, the Lord dropped in my heart notary, roundabout notary. And from there, it just started to evolve into a business and something beautiful. So I did do my diligent work and um, researching, what it took to be a notary and the qualifications, the licensure certificate, the certificates, and the equipment and all of the things that are involved in being a mobile notary. And once I had that information, I made a informed decision that this is what I'd like to pursue. And thus, Roundabout Notary was born. And I tell you, in my opportunities to meet with people and help people, it has just been amazing to hear the different stories. Everybody has a story, and sometimes people just need to be heard. And in my efforts and notarizing different legal documents such as healthcare representatives, titles, any type of general notary work that just needs a notary to legalize the document. I have been able to establish a relationship and rapport with my customers, and I give them an opportunity to share their story, and it's been amazing.
So
I
my
love
question,
that. Yeah.
question is, what was the hardest stepping stone for you? What was the hardest thing when you were starting your business? Like,
I think the hardest stepping stone for me, and I would say it was a personal challenge that I overcame, and overcoming this challenge helped lead me to my liquid gold entertainment business. And I think it was just believing in myself and knowing that I can do it.
Mm,
Many times that is half the battle, just knowing that you can do it, believing deep down in your soul, your being, that this is what I am called to do. This is part of my purpose, and I am going to continue to walk in my purpose. And I think when you're resolute about that thing, then that's when you're able to walk in power and accomplish anything that you set your mind to.
I love it.
okay.
Finding your purpose.
Hmm.
So what I heard in there is that you made it up in your mind that because this is my purpose, I can do it.
That's right.
Now, some people struggle with finding their purpose.
Mm.
Can you give them any advice for that? Sometimes it takes a while to really find your purpose. You dive into things that you don't do well, or that you do well but you don't feel good about doing it.
Hmm.
What can help people if there's some young woman out there, or it could be any age woman? What can they do to be more intentional about finding what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? How can
I
you help
think,
them?
well, and I think, that's a loaded question, because I think once you learn yourself and you know yourself, you discover who you are, and you have a self actualization, if you will, of who you
Mm,
are as a woman. And so when you establish who you are as a woman, then you can take opportunities to go into deep meditation and prayer and seek God as to what He would have you to do.
mm. That's perfect. That's
Hmm.
perfect. Oftentimes it is seeking God, knowing yourself. I listen to a lot of people talk about knowing that one thing that you do better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us is talking.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just talk a lot. Like Steve
Mm-hmm.
Harvey said, he said, when I was in school, I got in trouble all the time because I kept talking. I
Mm-hmm.
kept joking, and his
Mm-hmm.
teacher hated it.
Mm-hmm.
However, there was something in that thing for him. Getting in
Mm-hmm.
trouble for it, talking, joking, all of it. And so the
Mm-hmm.
thing is that you really do have to know yourself. What are you
Mm-hmm.
most comfortable doing? And like
Mm-hmm.
you said, your job being a social worker helped you walk into this thing,
That
you
is
know?
right.
So I
And I
think that's
also think
powerful.
that, within our culture, many times we are stuck or drawn into this idea or theology that we're all competing against each other. This one is doing that, so I have to do it, or that one is doing this,
Mhm.
I can do it better. And that is the wrong mindset. We're all unique. We all have our own gifts and talents that God has blessed us with. So why not move in the gifts and talents that God has given you and you alone? Everybody is unique. I'm not like you. You're not like me. We're all beautifully unique. And that's the beauty of life. There's
Mhm.
no cookie cutter. We're
Mhm.
all beautiful and unique in our own way.
And that's by design, right? All
That
beautiful
is,
and unique
yes,
by design. That's
that
right.
is right.
We all have something different to contribute. Literally could have the exact same service that we are rendering, but it's different because of who you are,
That is right.
you know? So
Absolutely.
I love that. So what about COVID? Has COVID, thrown anything in there? Any snags or anything? Because there are
Well,
businesses now that are struggling because of COVID.
sure, sure. And I would say, the way that I move about with my customers, as far as, I always wear a mask and, take the proper precautions if I have customers that are not comfortable with us meeting, doing the transaction, in their home. I find a meeting spot where we're both comfortable completing, their desired transactions. And I think from another standpoint, this COVID, as unfortunate as it is, there's lots of programs and things out there that are because of COVID, such as
Mhm.
opportunities to refinance your home at a lower interest rate to save monies. There's also lower interest rates on home loans and loans in general and auto loans. There's lots of opportunities out there to save monies. And I think a lot of our people are not familiar with the different opportunities that are available simply because of COVID. We're in a pandemic and the government has put in place certain avenues where people need to take advantage of. Who doesn't want to save, extra 150, $200 on their mortgage or any type of loan that they may need. So, and that's where I come in. I help with the refinancing and helping with signing of the documents to make that transaction legal and acceptable to the banks and lenders and title companies.
Okay. You all need to hit her up. Hit
Mm.
her up, guys. Elizabeth Cowherd. And go ahead, Alicia.
No, I just wanted to before we go, I just wanted to ask you about your Liquid Gold Entertainment. Can
Mhm.
you tell us just a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. Liquid Gold Entertainment is a fairly new business venture of mine. I do have a couple of projects that I'm working on that I'm not really able to disclose at this time, but it's basically opportunities to do voiceover work, to do audio books. A lot of our folks are visual learners and auditory learners. And I
Mhm.
like a combination of both. There's a wealth of great information out here to be had and to be heard. And I want to be one vessel to facilitate hearing a book and actually bringing that book to life.
Yes, I love that. I told you that I absolutely love this service because I had to do it in my classroom. It's so relevant. It resonates with
Huh?
me for my students. So go ahead because I'm telling you, I got a few books. I'm like, can you read these so that my students will actually get the content? So I love, that idea, and it's already out there in the atmosphere. Everyone knows you have an amazing voice. You have the perfect personality to be able to put into those words, because we don't want to hear Mr. Rogers reading the book. We just don't we don't want to hear it. So we're looking for that liquid gold. I can't wait. We really appreciate you coming. We want everybody to. Did you share your financial information and your social media as well, so that people can support and donate to your work?
Sure, absolutely. We do accept cash. We do have a Cash App. Our Cash App name is Elizabeth Cowherd. We also accept Zelle and Venmo.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
where can they find out more about you, your social media?
Oh, yes, Roundabout Mobile Notary. We're on Facebook. Please look us up and like our page. From time to time, I will share information that I'm getting firsthand on interest rates, new opportunities in the community to save monies and so forth. So please like us on Facebook, Roundabout Mobile Notary Services.
Go to Facebook right now,
Yeah.
y'all.
Go to
Like and follow
Facebook.
Roundabout
Yeah.
Mobile Notary. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. We look forward to working with you more in the future. Happy MLK Day. Happy Advocating and Uplifting Black Voices Day.
Yes,
And congratulations. You made it through the pandemic, through 2020.
that's
That's a
right.
piece. You made it through
Well, and
2020.
I am looking forward to what 2021 will bring for us as a people. I think we're entering into an amazing season, and I
Mhm.
am so excited. So I want to encourage everyone, if you have goals and dreams and things that have been on your heart and you just don't know how to get started, make that first step. Put some legs to that thing, make it
Mm.
look like something, and you will be proud of the end result.
Whew, I felt that. Come
Mm.
on, speak to the people,
Yes,
Elizabeth.
yes, yes.
All right, thank you so much. We will talk soon. Take
All
care.
right, thank you.
All
Oh,
right, guys. So, Alicia, are we doing another trivia, or are we going to go right to our next business?
I'm gonna put our next business in, but I'm gonna put the trivia question in the chat.
Okay. All
Okay, the
right,
next
guys.
trivia
Pay attention
question
to
is
the
going to
chat.
the chat, y'all. First answer, correct answer gets a prize.
It's a prize. All right, guys. Our next business is
We have Danielle coming in.
we just had Danielle go out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Next on the schedule is
we will go on to Lola with love. Let's let Lola in.
Lola with love. While we're waiting on Lola, guys, we're asking you all to share, share, share. We just got an amazing inspirational word from Elizabeth Cowherd. So we want to make sure that people are hearing these uplifting words. We need our Black businesses. And so we want to make sure that we empower and uplift them. Hey, Lola. So we want you
Hi.
guys to share, share, share. We have an amazing business coming up right now. Go to your groups, go to your pages. If you share it already, share one more time and tell people if you support Black businesses and Black lives to come in and join the live with us to celebrate MLK. All right. How you doing, Lola?
I'm good. How are you today, beautiful?
I am great.
Oh, quick little bit tidbit about Lola with love. Her name is Lola Hall. She is an herbalist, healer, and spiritual life coach. She makes products that include ancient remedies and herbal medicine into your everyday skincare and provides tools to aid you through your healing. Hello, Lola.
Ooh.
Hi,
How
how
can
are
you
you? I'm
help us
trying to
heal,
share.
Lola?
What was that?
I said, how can
Hi.
you help us heal? I love it. All right, Lola. We want to first thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You know that we are customers. We met you at a local vendor event, and I believe, what did I buy? Sage.
Yes, we bought.
Yep.
Yes, we bought stage, and I definitely needed it at that time. And I loved it. I loved the packaging. I loved your spirit, everything. So, can you
Thank
tell the
you.
people who you are?
Well, my name is Omalola. I go by Lola for short. I am a herbalist. I make natural skincare remedies, and I am a spiritual life coach. I am 25. I have been on this journey for 3 years, but it's actually been a part of my custom lifestyle for a while now.
That's awesome. So, with this being a part of your lifestyle, were you like raised, knowing these things, doing these things, because it doesn't really come natural to a lot of people. So, how did you come into herbalizing and knowing about these things?
Well, when it came to being a herbalist, I didn't expect to be one. I went to school, and in high school, I was in biomedical science, and I just knew I was going to go to school and be like a medical chemist. And as I went to school and grew up, herbalism came to me. And then when it comes to like healing and just certain spiritual practices, part of my family is African. And so some of these things my mom instilled in me as I grew up or as I came into a woman and just taught me certain things as I became an adult.
Okay. So when did you start? When did you start your business?
I started my business in 2019 and I started my healing journey in 2017 and 2018.
Okay.
Okay. How has everything been going? I know that we've all been impacted by COVID, which stopped a lot of, like, I saw you at an outside vendor event, and at that time it was COVID, so we were doing most things outside. But now it's the winter, so you have to like pivot into something else, right? So can you talk us through, first let's go into some of your products first. Can you tell us about, because my sister is actually a customer as well, and she told me about a mask that all of our family like to use. And so, can you tell us about some of those products first?
Yeah, well, all of my products include natural remedies and like herbal medicines, basically into your everyday skincare when it comes to face masks, when it comes to the way you put your skincare for your creams, your body, your hair oil. Not only is it oil to help flourish your skin or flourish your hair or strengthen or help grow, but it also helps with like mental health and just the herbs included. Everything you put into your skin seeps into your bloodstream. So it helps with different herbs for mental health, for self love, for anxiety and depression. And so, like, when I decided to make my products, I wanted everything to balance out. Not just the medicine side, but the way you feel about yourself while you're doing so. So I do have like affirmations on my product as well. Um, but the turmeric kit is one of my most popular sellers, and I have a kit and I have separate items as well. But in the kit comes a face mask, the honey mask. It comes with a face chat, which is basically like a hydrant that you would rub on your face, a toning oil, a turmeric mask scrub, and two different soaps. One African and turmeric soap with honey, with ginger and honey, and then one turmeric and shea soap with honey as well.
That's
And then I have some
awesome.
pictures down here of my products as.
Okay, I'm looking at some pictures that you want to show us a few of those.
Oh yeah, it's just like a little slideshow going on down here.
Okay. All right, slideshow. So I actually have been a consumer of the turmeric mask. That is amazing for, I use it for
Thank you.
toning, to tone I had like some old like acne spots, and I wanted my skin to be luxurious and clear for the summer. And the turmeric mask definitely helped me with that. And then also I use the sage for just cleansing the air and the environment. I usually use it in the morning, and so the packaging, everything about what I received was A1 top notch. And I
Thank
love to see
you.
that. Yes, I love to see that in our Black businesses. And so, as far as the community, so you're young, 25. Come on for the young Black businesses, okay? So we know that the Black community does not have a very easy time navigating, entrepreneurship. We have to oftentimes seek out information from this source and that source. We don't always have the support and the resources that we need, right? And so, how can the community be of more help to you in your business?
I would say support, not just me, but everybody else. I feel like the more that we come together, like even right now, I have some local businesses here that I've supported, local Black owned businesses that I supported. The more that we share word of mouth, the more that we come together, the more that we share each other's tips, just little things to help each other. Even if it comes down to, especially as businesses grow, let's support each other growing. If it's down to helping someone be someone else's customer service representative, just come together as a community and support each other. It's not always about payment or about money. And although that is needed, but sometimes it's about education. It's about literally the support, the hand that you can offer, like what you want to give and what you want to receive, you have to be able to give. Even if it's after you receive it, you still have to be able to give, whether it's knowledge, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's information. You have to be able to give what you want to receive.
I love that. So let's get into, see, we got a good young business here. Let's get into, I'm telling you, like, so ChangeMakers is a new business as well. I want you to tell us how some of the downside of being a business owner. Like I'll go first. Okay. One of
Go
the
first.
I'll tell you, one of the things that I find quite difficult about being a new or a grassroots organization is that we have to fight for for support, right? Like I've seen small Black businesses have a cash app or a campaign fundraising. They'll have it up for a year and won't have any money in there. Zero out of $5,000. But I will see a white business, new, brand new. Hey, everybody, come in. I'm through the door. And I'm asking for $10,000 for my business. And when I tell you that they will raise $20,000 in 2 days,
Yes.
have you guys
That's the word.
noticed that? So that's one of the downsides for me. Fundraising and getting the support financially is not always easy. Just recently for ChangeMakers, our allies have really stepped up to help with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But for you, just being real, like there's some girl out there who wants to start a business as well. But she's thinking that I just don't have the money. I got to work my job. I got to take care of my kids. What is a downside? Just being real that you experience.
A downside is, again, when it comes to lack of people wanting to support you, not again when it comes to financial gain, but when it comes to putting you on, whether it's knowledge, whether it's how you do this or how you do that. People don't initially want to reach out. I'm not just saying that they don't want to help, but I've reached out before my business started to different business owners and never got a response. People looked at the messages, never got a response. So I feel like that comes into play a lot, where people not wanting to share the information or not wanting to help or not wanting to just give that information. But then again, that's not any roadblock. Like, again, as you guys know, I'm a healer, but like there's nothing impossible for you. So research, do it on your own. Start. If you feel like you don't have the capital, you don't have the funds, save. I started just buying a little $5 container and going from there. Finding is start now. Just don't wait. Start with what you have. Start with what you know. Start with what you can do, and just take that time to invest in yourself as much as you want other people to invest in you. Whether it's capital, whether it's time, whether it's information, take that time to try to do it yourself. And I know it could be tedious, and sometimes that information could be helpful. But if you don't receive it and you can't get it, still go for it. Don't be discouraged from people not doing, or that lack of support, or those roadblocks, because it's not a block. It was just the path not meant for you. So just keep going for it. Like, that's what I had to do. I was deterred a long time, and I just had to keep going for it and use what I know and learn from what I've already learned, or learn from what I've already experienced, or what I've already seen, and go from there.
That's because it's your purpose, right? It's easy to get up and do it every day because you know that that's your purpose.
Yeah,
And
I
we spoke
definitely
about
aligned with my
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah, we spoke about that purpose thing a while ago. Like, it makes it a little bit easier. It makes the long nights, like Alicia and I, Lord Jesus, okay. It makes the long nights, the strategizing with just two
Uh,
or three people, it makes it worth it because you know that you specifically, it's like God said, hey, you come do this. When
And
you
it
know
is
that you have been
discouraging.
called specifically to do it, you will stay up late to do it
mm,
because it's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. It's not about competing or anything.
No,
This is
it's
what
for
this
me.
is for me. I
Yeah.
love that. I really, and you're so positive.
And
I
it's
actually give me
still
a
you can know
downside.
your purpose. You can know your
Mhm.
purpose and still it's gonna be hard. Like, don't let nobody ever say it's easy. Just because I know my purpose don't mean that I don't be like, I ain't trying to do this tonight, but I have to. It's a difference between wanting to and needing to and being disciplined. Like, you have to be disciplined in anything you do. So you learn that discipline because it's something you love. So if it's something you love, it's something you want to continue. It's not always easy, but discipline helps you get through it.
I
do you
love
think
that.
do you think you had any areas where you felt like you had struggles, like or almost maybe failed in, that you could speak about and say, well, trying to start my business, I did this, and just to kind of give advice to someone who might be starting their business, like maybe, or even getting your LLC, or talking about one of the processes that you went through.
Again, that goes to reaching out to people. That was a struggle. It was a struggle to learn any and everything. A lot of the stuff that was available to me, I didn't have access to or didn't know that I had access to. I feel like now, through the pandemic, there's a lot more information out there for people to start a business or to learn, or just people sharing more, coming together more, in groups like you guys as ChangeMakers and different groups that want to help other businesses flourish or want to help the community flourish in a whole. So that came together during 2020 because of although it was a negative situation, a lot of positive came out of it when it came to helping the community. But it's hard. It's going to be hard every step of the way. It's never going to be easy. There's not going to be one easy step. You always going to be pulling and pushing yourself to go for it. Everything was hard in the beginning for me. I'm not going to cap. It was a struggle everywhere. It was a struggle everywhere.
Yeah.
From how I mix my products to what I learned with, to the information on my bottles, to what was needed, the process of licensing and everything was a struggle.
Mm,
Nothing was easy, but was it worth it? Yes.
mm,
Website, I did everything on my own. I still do not like my website presentation. Like, nothing is ever going to be perfect for you because it's something that you love to do. You're always going to grow in it.
Yeah.
So just grow in it. It's never going to be easy. Nothing was easy at all. I didn't have any
so
help, nothing. I did everything from a job, and I saved and went on from there. I write books, I sold books, and went on from there.
Hold
Like,
on, because you said some stuff in there. You said I worked a job to start this business. I saved to start this business. I did it by myself. I made my website. I didn't like it. It wasn't perfect, but I did it. I mean, come on, listen. So this is so many people's story. I
mhm.
mean, literally starting from the bottom, what they say, from the trenches, like
to
you
the
got it out the
front.
mud, what they say. I mean, let me tell you something. This is Lola. I am so inspired, first of all, because you are 25 and you already have the resolve to not give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the thing is that a lot of people have ideas. When you have enough you got to be audacious. I have the audacity to take this idea and actually start. It might be bad. See, our egos tell us it's going to be bad, so don't do it. That's your
Yeah,
ego. If you can sit your ego to the side and say, I'm going to start whether it's bad or not, nobody starts great. It's not going to
at
happen,
all.
especially if you're black. Okay. It's not. It's not going to be pretty. Okay. However, that journey from it wasn't all great to, oh my God, look at it now, that journey is worth it. Just do it. And I had to do that with myself. It was hard for me to start without it being like at a certain point,
Yeah.
pretty enough. But my spirit really told me, and I probably saw something online that said, just do it. Just do it.
Just go for
Start.
it.
You know what I'm saying? I love it. At 25, girl, I wish I had. I wish I had that
So,
at 25.
how can people support you? Like your where, what's your Facebook? What's your website? How your Cash App, all that good stuff. How can they support you moving forward?
My Facebook is at From Lola W Love. And my Instagram is FRM Lola with Love. And my Cash App is Lola Hall with Love. And my PayPal link is PayPal from Lola WL. My website is www.fromlolawithloveonline.com. And that's how you can support me.
All right, so go to
Or
her
if you have
Facebook.
information, give it to a small business.
Yes.
That's how you can
Yes.
support me.
Go to
Yes.
Lola's page, guys. Her products are amazing.
Yes.
Have your sage in your house. If anything pop off at any time, if you're watching the news and somebody's storming the Capitol, sage,
Okay.
sage. Get your sage,
Hey,
y'all. You hear me? Okay. So before Wednesday, the inauguration is Wednesday, right?
Y'all better be prepared.
yes.
Get your sage
The
before
sage.
order it now. Okay. Have your
Okay.
sage because you already know that something is gonna go down.
We'll be
Okay.
doing a little live healing session because I know them nerves is gonna be razzled afterwards. So Thursday.
Yes,
We need that. We need that.
I love it. We thank you
All
so
right.
much, Lola, for doing everything that you're doing, for being an inspiration to the young Black female business owners. When everything says that it's against you, being young, being Black, being a woman, you said no. You know, try again, try harder. We really thank you for being here. We're supporters, and we look forward to working with you in the near future.
Thank you so much for having me. I've just stood by you guys outside and everything. So I appreciate you guys for supporting and having me here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Definitely. Congratulations for making it through 2020, honey.
You as well. You guys have a good rest of your
too.
day.
All right, y'all. I'm going to get the next trivia question into the chat. If you are just tuning in, we are doing trivia questions throughout this live broadcast here. I will be putting them in the chat. First person to answer the question correctly will win a prize. We will contact you and give you instructions on how to get your prize. I am adding the next trivia question into the chat. The question is,
Ooh, what is the question?
how many times was the nonviolent leader, MLK, jailed on record? A, 5 to 10 times, B, 11 to 30 times, or C, 31 to 50 times? It's going in the chat right now. Put your answers in the chat, y'all.
How many times was MLK, the nonviolent, peaceful, never threw a rock back, turned the other cheek, leader, activist, organizer? How many times was he locked up? So, Alicia, I want to talk to you about this because you know that during the protest, there was so much that happened, right? And we were all, especially you, many of the original change makers, many were all in fear of like, is my name on the list? Do I have a warrant? Am I going to get locked up? Literally for being in the street or standing on a car, but not hurting anyone, right? And so hearing that MLK was locked up 30 times and he didn't do anything, right? That good trouble. How does that make you feel? Because you have a father who is wrapped around the court system because of those protests. We know people, friends, associates who are wrapped up in the court system because of those peaceful protests. How does that make you feel? You're on mute.
It's I really, I really don't. I don't know. I don't know. It's I don't. They say good trouble. It's like it doesn't matter what we do. Okay. it's going to be wrong in their eyes. It doesn't matter what we do, because we know that behind it all, there's a reason. There's a reason why everything we do is wrong, because this country was founded on white supremacy and continues to be. And so it's sad. It's sad that we can't voice our opinion and stand up for what we believe in without trying to be silenced every chance that they get. You know, MLK was a non-violent, activist leader in our community, and to know that he was jailed so many times for doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that speaks volumes. You know,
What do you think MLK will be doing today to deal with the events, like we know that the senseless killing, poverty is at an all-time high, the lack of love and consideration and compassion and empathy of so many of our community members? What do you think MLK will be? How do you think he'll be handling this?
you know, if okay, this is my own thoughts, whatever, but I believe that MLK was getting closer and closer to how uh,
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, how Malcolm X was, and he was, falling right in line with Malcolm X and his beliefs. And he saw that, look, it's time. This is natural progression. We have done this peacefully. We have done this. We have done that. We have asked. So now it's time to start telling. Now it's time to start demanding. So, in my opinion, I believe that Martin Luther King would have become more radical, okay, as they call it. He would have joined forces. I would love to have seen this if he would have joined forces with Malcolm X. And I think that, we would be in a different place right now. I really honestly believe that we would be in a different place right now. And I think that he would have been a force to reckon with right now. Like,
Well, I tell
whew,
people, listen, because people like to water down my MLK. And
mm,
I said, listen, okay, a Black man that put his life on the line for this struggle. Now, MLK, I can't say a lot because it's part of our trivia. MLK was inspired by leaders before him
mm-hmm,
that taught him different philosophies and ways that you can get change, the most effective ways. And so he learned from those things and he implemented them here in this country. And so now, if MLK at any point learned, and he did learn, that some of those ideals were twisted and turned, and the result is, so the method was correct, but the outcome was incorrect. Just because now we know that, because the foundation is rocky, you can plant all type of beautiful things on top. But
mm,
if you don't hit the foundation and fix that, then the result is always going to be wrong, right? So this is one thing that I always say. MLK was a radical leader. He was a leader that would implement things that no one else agreed with, and he would make you believe in them. So I agree with you, Alicia, that he would. I do believe that him and Malcolm X would have ended up teaming up
whew,
eventually. You know what I'm
imagine.
saying?
Like
By
that's like
any
an
means,
ultimate power couple right there. Okay.
honey, okay? By
Dynamic
any
duo.
means
Yes. They
necessary.
wouldn't know what to do. Lord. Woo.
No, just okay. So I posted on my page today a quote by Martin Luther King that would tell you that he would not have just stopped at, you could throw 20 rocks at me and I ain't gonna do nothing. This right here tells you exactly where his mindset was. It says true peace is not merely the absence of tension, which means that you can't try to get rid of tension to get peace. It
Mm,
is the presence of justice. So in order for us to have peace, we have to have what first?
just
Freaking justice. You understand me? And in order to have justice, you have to have accountability. Okay? So I'm gonna get off my soapbox because we have another business,
yes, we
right?
do.
But
Hello.
I know she feels the same way.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
So I'm gonna give a quick introduction. This is C Mark.
Okay.
Sea Moss by Slay. This
Hey.
is Kayla Anderson. She is a Fort Wayne native. She's a graduate of Cornerstone Christian College Prep High School. She furthered her studies at Butler University, majoring in psychology. Her love for helping others sparked the Sea Moss by Slay business, and she takes total pride in being able to assist in healing the community. Hello.
Hi.
I
By
love
Slay.
it. Hi, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm great.
You
How
look
are you guys?
beautiful.
Thanks.
Very good, very good. So have you been listening to all of this good wisdom our businesses has been giving us so far?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
all have been coming with it.
It's been awesome. It's been
Yes.
awesome.
And so Shayla, I'm telling you, I love your product. I'm excited to actually, potentially introduce this to some people who don't know about it, because this is something that is absolutely necessary, especially with COVID and 3 different strains flying around us. And so, can you tell us who is Shayla, the creator of Sea Moss by Slay?
Um, First, I'm Black. I'm a woman. I'm selfless. I'm very passionate and outspoken and opinionated. I'm a mother. I have a 10-year-old son. And I just like helping people. The business kind of just started from me taking it personally and then realizing like, wow, this is really helping me. COVID is running wild. I know it can help the community. So my sister was like, you need to start selling this. And I kind of just was like, I kind of shrugged it off. But like a month or two later, I actually like looked into it and researched like, okay, there is a need, there's a demand for it, and there's a demand for it locally. So I just decided to start selling it.
Can you tell us about, I remember you said something about your son and how this
Yes.
helped him. Can you tell us about that?
I actually have before and after pictures of his hands on my Facebook page. He has eczema. Well, he had it because it's not there anymore. But I used the sea moss gel and calendula oil to heal his hands. And I had really bad hormonal acne, and I put it on my face, and it's helping my skin too. So yeah, it's good for your skin. It's good for your hair. It's good to consume. If you have any type of deficiency or mineral deficiency in your body, it's gonna replenish it. Like hormonal imbalances, it helps with that as well. It gets mucus out of your lungs. Like it's a legit superfood. Like there's literally
That's
nothing.
everything I need.
There's nothing that it won't do. Like seriously.
So so you
awesome.
sell this product, you sell it in what different forms? In which ways can you use it?
Just the gel form. I buy it raw and I soak it and I blend it and sell 16-ounce jars and 8-ounce jars. But I tell my customers, you can put it on your skin, you can put it in your hair, and you can eat it. Like that's the normal way to actually take it, but I put it in my hair and my hair is growing and I put it on my skin as well.
I heard something about a smoothie too. You can make smoothies or shakes with it.
Yes. I don't sell the smoothies, but when I have like showcases, I'll have samples with it in a smoothie because you can't taste it that way. It doesn't taste the best. So that's why I decided to do it that way, to sell it to people and to let them know, like, if you put it in a shake or a smoothie, some people put it in applesauce, you won't taste it. So.
Right.
That's good to know. See, me, if it's just like apple cider vinegar. I could, if it's healthy, I can consume it. I don't care how it tastes. But I have family members who are not going for it. If it's
Yes.
nasty, they ain't going for it. So I love the smoothie idea, because I definitely want to get some of the sea moss, and I'll try it in a smoothie for everyone else. And so I love that, and it's so positive for the community, because, like you said, it really is in high demand, and it is because of this high mineral content. And so with COVID, we know that you want to make sure that your body is in tip top shape.
Absolutely.
And so I was so excited when I saw your business, because I said we need to know that we have a way to support a small female Black ran business that sells this product, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so how has COVID impacted your business?
It's helped it in a major way. I know a lot of other small businesses, you know, they say that COVID has impacted them negatively, but it's been the total opposite for me. A lot of my customers, they have COVID and they'll tell me, and I do contactless delivery for those that have it, you know, like they'll cash at me or Zelle or PayPal me and I'll drop it off outside their home. Um, so it's really helped me. Like it's brought in a lot more customers because of it. And then a lot of people now are becoming more aware of, wow, I'm out of shape. I need to be healthier. I need to start thinking about my health now that COVID is here. And so they'll come and be like, I need some moss.
So what part of your business takes the most time? Because I'm gonna tell you, I had looked into getting CMOS raw, and then I looked at YouTube and it started saying to soak it and stuff. I said, oh no, I'm out. I said no. So running your business, which part of it, it might not be the soaking it, but which part of it from beginning to the end, it could be paperwork, customer acquisition, social media, what takes the most time?
I have to say social media. I started on a website and I want it to be all encompassing because there's times where customers will like message me. I have a job, like a 9 to 5. So I'll be working and then I'll get off or check on my lunch break and I'll have a bunch of messages from customers asking questions like, what's your prices? What do you have? What kind of moss? How is it going to help me? So I have to say the social media part of it, interacting with customers. I'm trying to get my website now to where it's just a one-stop shop. Any question you have, boom, you can see like this is the information on it. And then if you want to buy, there's an option for that. So interacting, I think, in the social media part is the most time consuming. Soaking is not that, it doesn't take that long. I have big like bowls that I soak it in and put it in my fridge. So that's not really.
I'm glad that you do it for us.
You're
So,
right.
so I want to know, you know, they say CMOS, it's used for so many different things. Have you had like one of those customer experiences where they're like, oh my gosh, like this changed my life, this cleared up this, or this was great for, you know, whatever. Can you tell us about like something like that? Do you have a story like that?
All the time. And that's why I love doing it, because I know that I'm helping to heal people. A lot of times my customers will tell me like about issues that they have beforehand. So when I'm blending their moss, I can set that intention with the jar. I could pray over it. I could speak life into it. I could speak positive into it, depending on whatever their issue is. I just recently had a customer, her hormonal levels were off and she's been trying to conceive with her fiance. She's been taking the moss for like 2 months. She told me, I went to my fertility specialist. He checked my levels. And after taking it, I'm in the clear now to successfully conceive and, you know, have a successful pregnancy.
Wow.
Stuff like that means the world to me. I have people who have COVID and they'll tell me like, you know, I took it and I started taking 4 tablespoons and after a week, I started breathing better, or I had energy. I could actually get up and do things. Like knowing that I'm actually able to help people feel better and heal. That's it. It's not even really about the money at that point, you know, just knowing that I'm helping our people in our community. So,
Shayla, that is awesome. It really, really is. And so moving forward, what is one of your goals for 2021?
growth. I feel like I'm only like a few months doing this and I feel like I've already grown a lot and I'm thankful for it. I ship to different people in different states and my goal is to touch every state. I want everyone to know. I want to help everyone. And then to get my website launched too. So where, you know, it's successful and I really can just tell people, you know, go here and buy it instead of having to explain all the time whenever someone new comes around.
So how can people get a hold of your product? How can how can they get a hold of you? What is your financial information, just in case they want to donate to your company, your business?
My Cash App is Slayla Marie 30. I put that, I typed it in here too. I don't know if it's cut off or not. I have Zelle and I have PayPal. You can add me on Facebook. I have an actual page where I post information. I post the moss, I post the jars. That's Sea Moss by Slay. And then I have an Instagram page as well that is Sea Moss by Slay.
So we really, really appreciate you being here, Shayla. We want you all community members to support Shayla and her business. This is something that the community really needs, especially as far as our health goes. If you all want to be ready for the summer, this is the time now, because listen, okay, I need to see moss in my life. So I'm just telling you because I need it too. So support and get it so we can get some of these things from larger businesses. But why not support a small Black female-owned business? When we say that Black Lives Matter and we want to empower the community, this is the way that you do it. You invest in the small businesses and make those larger. And guess what Shayla is gonna do? She's gonna reach back and she's gonna donate as well. That's the same thing that ChangeMakers do. As people donate to us, we donate back to our people. And so we really appreciate the hard work that you put in, Shayla. We know this isn't easy. We come out and we smile and we look all cute and stuff, but we know it's not always cute.
It's not.
You know?
It's rewarding though. It's rewarding.
It's rewarding. Can you tell us one thing, Shayla? Why is it important for you to commemorate and remember MLK?
Because I'm Black, and a double whammy. I'm a woman, right? Like, we didn't have rights to even vote until what? Like, was it the 60s? You know, like, that's pretty recent. I just feel like everything that he fought for, everything he got assassinated for, was so we can do things like this. This space right here that we have, that wouldn't have been available back then, you know? Mm-hmm. So he paved the way for us to actually flourish as a people, to be unified, to express ourselves, to actually be considered human, you know? They didn't consider us human either. We were considered what? 3/5 human, you know?
They probably don't consider us human now either, honey.
Exactly.
So they would cry about a police dog before they cry about one of our bodies. So
that is.
Exactly.
No, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's speaking truth to power, okay?
You understand me? Okay. All right. Look, so Shayla's gonna be working with us here pretty soon. I already know. But we really, really appreciate you and all of the hard work that you do. And community, we want you all to donate to Shayla. We want you to go to her Facebook page. We want you to, find out everything about her sea moss and be a consumer, be a donator. Because we want to show these people, these small businesses, that we appreciate them. Shayla, you made it. Congratulations. You made it through 2020 successful. We know that you're going to do bigger and greater in 2021. And ChangeMakers will be hitting you up real soon, girl.
Yeah, girl.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys for the opportunity too. I appreciate this so much.
No problem. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right. How are we doing with trivia? Are our people, is everybody in there doing well? Are they answering it correctly, Alicia?
They're answering some questions, I see.
Okay.
We got some correct answers in the chat. So they're doing good. Okay.
Okay, good. We'll let you guys know exactly how you did at the end.
We got another trivia question. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this in the chat. Give us the correct answer. Okay. Who was one of King's main influencers on his philosophy of non-violent resistance? Who knows the answer to that?
This is a good question. I actually learned this in sociology class. The current president, the interim president of the Urban League in Fort Wayne was my professor, Professor Quentin Dixie. He taught me this. I learned this in his class. So I hope you guys get this answer correct. All right, but we're gonna go to our next business.
She should be signing on here. This is going to be Leaving Legacy Memorial. Leaving Legacy Memorial. I'm going to go ahead and get her bio here. Leaving Legacy Memorial was founded by Fort Wayne native Lanisha Bennett in 2020 during the COVID pandemic. Lanisha is a graduate of Northrop High School and the International Academy of Technology, Tampa. At the International Academy of Design, she obtained her degree in interactive media, which consisted of web development and cartoon animation. She has been able to utilize her creativity with other local businesses such as McDonald's, The Health Hut, Zetta's Health and Wellness, House of Nico, local churches, and many more. Prior to starting Leaving Legacy Memorial, Lanisha was the owner of the Design Market. She continues to strive to be better than yesterday. Lanisha is a mother, daughter, sister, and friend. She enjoys spending time with her family, trying new creative things, and going fishing. Lanisha continues to perfect her creativity by consistently studying the craft and obtaining knowledge within the deceased care industry. Her goal is to be one of the top providers for the deceased care industry. She is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I am great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Oh my goodness, the talent, Lanisha. I am overwhelmed, and I love and appreciate just something different. Like, this is different. Do you know that you're like so different in the market? Like, it's refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's refreshing. We're so glad that you are here. Your background looks amazing. I see merch. I see this shirt that looks amazing. Just come on, you are definitely queening. We appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can you tell us? So we heard your bio, and we heard that you are well educated. You've worked in different fields, in the design field, and this is just what you do. This is like really what you do. And can you tell us a little bit about who you are, and then how you, well, I'll ask you that question later, but tell us a little bit about who you are.
Who am I? Oh, wow. I am very quiet. I'm the type of person that I love to keep to myself. I'm that introvert. I am a mother. I have a son, a 14-year-old son named Tyler. I love being around my family. And that just makes me me. I don't, not sure how to really describe me. I'm me.
Okay.
So you are you. So how did you know that design, like at what age did you know that design was your purpose?
Oh man, high school. Well, like you heard on the bio, I graduated from Northrop High School. While I was at Northrop, I was the most horrible student. I was not there, but thank God I did graduate. But I had a art teacher, Mr. Park Ginder. I did a drawing one time, and he called my mother in for an interview, not an interview, but for a meeting. And I just assumed that maybe I did something, because I played a lot of pranks in high school. Thought I did something and got in trouble. But what it turned out to be is that he suggested, you should pursue it a little bit more because you have something. And if it wasn't for him saying that, I probably wouldn't even thought about art. It was just something that I enjoyed doing. It was an easy elective class to take, but he really sparked something for me. And because I wasn't the greatest in school, it was hard getting accepted into colleges. And I ended up getting into an art school, and it just went from there.
That is awesome. So what I heard from that is just how important teachers are.
Oh yeah.
I'm a teacher as well. We are severely underpaid. But, the thing is that oftentimes you have these different classes, and people may look at you in math, They may look at you in reading. And I've actually experienced this because I'm an English teacher. And a large number of kids don't like writing in English, right? But I would go and talk to other teachers like, does he act like this in your class? Does he fall? See, they didn't act up because I didn't play no game. But what they do is they would fall asleep sometimes. And I would be like, does he always come to your class sleepy because he was up playing video games? And they would say, the art teacher would say, no, like, no. Or the music teacher, no. They flourished in another area. And I really, really love that you were able to remember that, man, it was my art teacher.
Oh yeah.
And so continuing on after that, you worked a job, but now you're a business owner. How did that transition happen?
Well, let's just say I still work a job.
Okay.
How it transpired is that after I graduated art school, I could not land a position anywhere. I was always told, you don't have enough experience, or we're not hiring. So, how can you get the experience if no one will hire you and, help you develop that experience? So I started doing little things for a lot of the local churches and some of the churches in the Tampa Bay area, even here in Fort Wayne as well. Just started doing local things, and it just worked out for me. And I started the design market, which the design market did very well, but it catered to much of a broader aspect of designing. And then once COVID came, it was just like, okay, what was keeping me afloat doing funeral programs?
I've never met anyone who did funeral programs, so it's great to meet you. I'm like really afraid of the, just the whole thing is just because my mom worked at a funeral home and I just never understood it. Mm-hmm. So I actually was online and I saw a casket. I saw a design. Now, I usually scroll past real quickly, caskets, anything. I just scroll real fast. But I saw it, and it was glittery, and it was pink, and it caught my eye. I said, what is this? Then I saw that a Black woman did this design. Tell us about this.
Well, the thing with the casket, it is something that we are working on, and hopefully, it'll be something we can offer soon. But what we did was test the end piece and see what products would work, what products would not work. So it was basically a trial and error. And what you guys saw was just a test trial of one that we constructed. Now we still have to figure out, how to redo the inside in regards to the sewing and all that good stuff. But what you saw was the outside of the end piece casket that we were just testing out to see what can we do with it and how fast can we do it and how quick can we do it.
Yeah, that was definitely something. I am drawn to things that are different and things that are unique. And your work is definitely that. So can you just tell us about some of your pieces?
Well, what I'm really known for is, of course, the funeral programs. We do specialize in viewing cards, because I just started really pushing Leaving Legacy Memorial because it started in 2020 in the middle of COVID. That's all that we focused on. Right now, I am doing memorial pillows, and you might be able to see it if it doesn't cut in with the background.
But we see it. We can see it.
Pillow. Backside, it's fluffed up. Those are one of the popular things that we are selling like crazy right now, which is awesome. We specialize in welcome signs. If you need outdoor, indoor banners of, say, for example, if you want to celebrate your loved one's birthday, we do create those type of banners as well, indoor or outdoor. Soon we'll be pushing ties, and I'm going to show you one. A quick one that we did for you guys. So this is something that you can actually wear as a family for funeral programs, because so many times.
I love that. That is so cute.
Thank you. So many times we like to match and be color coordinated. So it just helps develop it. And then another product that we'll be pushing here soon within a few weeks, it'll be the jewelry, the necklaces. We got some different ones that are coming in as well. So that's about all the products that we currently offer right now. And puzzles.
And puzzles?
Puzzles. Yes. Puzzles are great, especially when you're dealing with elderly, because they help with the motor functions and those that have amnesia. If we put your loved one on a puzzle, that may help with the memory of them memorizing who you are, especially if it's someone that suffers from dementia.
Yes, definitely. I love that. I actually love puzzles as well. So the work is we can see that the work is very, very unique. We congratulate you and we celebrate you. Your work, you can tell that you pay attention to detail.
Yes.
For sure. We could tell that there's a quality there that we can appreciate. I love to tell people about Black businesses, especially Black female ran businesses that are great. And we can see the greatness in your work, and we want to celebrate that. And I wanted to ask you before you go, why is remembering MLK today important for you?
Remembering MLK, you have to take it personal, because he had the faith but what he stood for and believed in, he didn't let anyone contradict the goodness of change. So that's one thing that you personally have to grasp, because if he has the faith that mountains can move, you should be able to have the faith to do it as well.
Yes, I know that's right. And you're right that we have to take it personal. There's really no way in this work that you can't take it personal, right? Because the thing is that especially having a child, our lives are on the line every day. So we have to think about it that way. MLK sacrificed his life. And this is something that I always say, is that you have to know what you will sacrifice for your child's life, someone else's life, the next generation's lives. MLK decided and made a decision to sacrifice that much. But what will our generation sacrifice? And that's a question that I always ask myself.
Before you go too, I wanted to ask you a question, because I too love, like, I'm not a designer, okay, like designer went to school, but I love to design things. I love to make flyers and logos and all that good stuff. So how did you figure out like where you wanted to go with designing? Go ahead.
Oh, when I had the design market, I had so much business coming in, and I was it was just me solely. You get creatively drained, and
Right.
you're constantly trying to think of new ideas, but at the same time, you still have to have control of your mental self to be able to create those the new ideas. The obituaries is just something that I love doing. I started doing them when my relatives or my family when my relatives would pass. And it grew from that, and it was just passionate. So when COVID came, everything with the design market just kind of stopped. And I had to sit back. And at that point, I was drained. I was aggravated. I kid you not. It got to a point where it was when my regular clients would call, I didn't want to pick up the phone, because you get to a point you're exhausted, and this isn't it. Something has to change, and you can't do everything. And then on top of that, there are so many graphic designers that are coming from everywhere. Your next door neighbor might be an awesome graphic designer.
Yeah.
So with everyone doing the same thing, it just bored me. It's just, okay, how can you grow from this when they can go to the next person that's going to charge half of what I charge? So
Wow.
I really sat down and considered, and I was still receiving orders from one of the local funeral homes, and it clicked. Okay, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what makes you happy. It's a great feeling to create something amazing and give it to the family, and let that be something that they hang up or put in a picture frame, because I'm not getting ready to give you some traditional obituary program that you've seen 20, 15, 20, 30 years ago. I'm going to give you something that's amazing.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
that feeling of warmth and having some type of, I'm not even going to say closure for other families, but giving them something that can ease the pain, even if it's just for a moment.
Yeah.
So it grasped from there. I did the research, and not too many people want to deal with the funeral home and the deceased care industry. And it was just like, well, it's an industry that's never going to go away. It's going to change, but it's not going away. So why not take a dive and let's see what happens.
So if people want to support you, do you have a website, Facebook, Cash App, Venmo, all that good stuff?
Well, our website is under construction. If you would like to donate, please feel free to give me a call or shoot us an email. You can email us at leavinglegacymemorial@outlook.com, or you can give us a call at 260-206-5003, and we can give you the address to send a payment. We don't accept Cash App or PayPal. Our payments as of right now is cash, credit card, debit card, or a check.
Awesome.
Awesome. We thank you so much for coming, sharing your amazing work with us. Keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations for being able to survive 2020 as a small business. We know that it has not been easy. You have so much to offer, even as far as advice, because you put in long hours, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So being able to do top-notch work and putting in so much work and so many hours, that's an art. That's dedication, is discipline, and something that I feel like the next generation can really learn from. And so we really look forward to working with you in the near future. I would love for the young people to be able to hear more about how you maintain this level of quality of work while putting in so many hours. Like, that's something that even we can learn from as change makers. We love to learn from fellow business owners, female, Black, like that. That's powerful to me. And so we really, really want to congratulate you for what you're doing. Your work is amazing.
Thank you. And
Yes.
I thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. Happy MLK Day. Take care. We will talk. Oh, prepare for Inauguration Day too. It's Wednesday. Don't forget, 'cause I know you putting in long hours, but don't forget to prepare. Okay? Have your popcorn.
Will do.
Okay. Talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All
All
right.
right, guys. Alicia, do you have one more trivia question for us? Or two more?
I do.
You do? Okay.
The next trivia question is, what HBCU did MLK attend? It is in the chat now. First person to get the correct answer wins a prize. Get that?
Okay. What HBCU did
What?
MLK attend?
Yes.
Okay, MLK, his father, and I think his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All
What
right.
HBCU?
Hello. Hi, my Lisa. You're on mute. How are you, my dear?
Hello.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. So, guys, we actually have a local music artiste. Okay. Well, we're gonna let Alicia go ahead and read the bio. I got started too quick. I'm sorry.
Okay, look. My Lisa Kelly is a local Fort Wayne artist. I believe it was this year you debuted a song, right? A new song. Wasn't it this year? Okay. She is also with Bring Black Up. And your artist name is The Real MK, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. It's my Lisa Kelly here.
All right. The Real MK. So I learned about The Real MK from Bring Black Up. I heard about the event. I believe I reached out, but no, my Lisa reached out to us, and we've had a relationship ever since.
Mm.
I heard her music on her Facebook page, and I felt the passion and the power. And I was so proud as a Black woman that she was speaking. I mean, the lyrical content is amazing. And so you've always been very willing to just be community involved. Anytime I've asked you to do this or to do that, you did it. You do a lot of work, and we really we appreciate you, and we congratulate you today. And we want you to tell us a little bit about you. Who is my Lisa, and why do you do what you do? Who is the real MK?
Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for having me. Happy Martin Luther King's Day. Um, Anywho, yeah. So I am born and raised in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Um, I'm a native here. What can I say? You know, I am 30 years old. I went to Fairfield Elementary and Harrison Hill Elementary, Memorial Park Middle School, and Southside High School. I dropped out of school and got my GED. With doing that, I was, proud to have some sort of education. I then went into taking many, many classes in college. And to rewind a little bit, I started singing. Um, sorry. I started singing at a very young age in church, actually. And from then, I joined the ensemble. It was called Three Rivers Djembe Ensemble. And there I met a lot of people my age where we traveled around on tours and just doing different workshops with traditional West African music. From there, I developed, some sort of, stage performance, just it was a good platform for me to be able to perform and learn all the skills I needed to do what I love to do. And so from there, I just grew my passion to be an independent artist. And I started singing and songwriting on my own. And from there, that's basically where where this is, this is all originating from. So yeah.
That's awesome, my Lisa. So you actually have an amazing story
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
I am really tempted to get into. So you've told us this story. I know that one thing I know, especially for a musical artist, people buy into who you are. Just like Cardi B, no shade. Cardi
Yeah.
B is not talented in the area that she has been making money in, right? She has no rhythm and she can't rap, but she's a dancer and she's a rapper. How
Yeah.
can you, right? However, people love, and I do too, love her personality.
Yeah.
And so I want to really give you the opportunity to share what you want to share about your story, because I heard you say that you dropped out of school,
Yeah.
but we are here today and you made it.
And I did.
You, so many different things. So can you dive a little bit deeper into who my Lisa was then and what helped you make it?
So I say, it was nothing but, God's grace. Um, like I said, I did grow up in the church, so I am a very spiritual person. And I'm not so much religious like I used to be anymore. But God is real and the spirit is real, and just that protection, God's mercy. And, so that's my testimony is real. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. So I dropped out when I was 16 years old. And from that point on, I just experienced so much so quick. Me and my mom wouldn't get along, and you know, I would get kicked out of my house. I would learn to be around the wrong group of people. And from there, I just experienced a lot of things where I was, I had experience with addiction and just a lot. So I met a guy and had got pregnant, lost my child. It was just a really dark space for me. And the only thing that was able to help me through that was my writing. When I took my GED, I was actually in ACJC here in Fort Wayne, and I had what they call 120 GED, and I actually passed it with honors on the writing part. That's something that I was blessed with. And so even in there, a lot of people around me, my friends and whatnot, they didn't know I could sing because I was, shy and scared of my voice. But that's when I would start to write, being in the cell, actually writing. And so from then on, that's what helped me. Even now, I write about pain and my life experiences to help someone else. And so that's how Bring Black Up got created, actually, was, that feeling of how can I help someone else not go through what I'm going through and actually be in action instead of just singing the song. I wanted to reach my audience a different way, physically. So
Yeah.
the
So you
community.
do your Mary J on.
Oh,
You put your experiences in the song.
yeah, yeah. I look up to her. Yes. So
That's what's up. When I listened to your song, I felt it and I heard it. And people are going to not only buy your music, but they're going to buy you. They're going to buy the hope that she went through that. I'm going through something. She made it. I can make it as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I love and support you so much. I love your story so much. And so you have been amazing for the community. You were a breath of fresh air when, we were going through a lot, protesting in the streets, and you came with an amazing, positive initiative. And so we love to support Bring Black Up. We love to support you. We want to, Alicia, did you have a question before my Lisa graces us with her?
No, I was just going to say, your story really hits home for me. And I'm so glad that you shared it, because I think a lot of people don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Those things that we've been through that are traumatizing, that have really changed who we are or changed our lives. And so I really appreciate you coming on here and really just letting your heart out and telling your story.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us about the music that you have out? What do you need us to support?
Okay, so currently right now my music is just free. I'm actually working on a bigger project where I'll sell the music. I'm looking into some other things right now. Hopefully being able to be a part of a label of some sort. And so right now I'm just putting my talents out there to show what I'm capable of, but you guys have not, had the whole thing as far as my writing, I should say. So yeah.
So again, a little.
Where can we see your videos? Like, are your videos somewhere we can access them? Facebook?
Oh yeah, so I have a few music videos out. One is on Facebook, that Pray for My City. The intro video, that's not the actual official video, but you can watch that. If you search Lisa Kelly, Pray for My City, it's under Sight Beyond Sound, their Facebook page, and that's my videographer that's helping me with this project right now.
Okay. And if you could tag us in some of those videos and we can share those as well so people can support your music. But we're very excited because you have agreed to sing for us today. And so we know that MLK, do you all know who his favorite singer was? Mahalia Jackson, y'all.
Mahalia Jackson. And I think I know that. I think I knew
Yes. So having you here to sing for us, we know that when MLK was alive, and even today, music has always been a huge part of these activist movements. The music, and it was really gospel music then, but now we have so much diversity because you may not have a gospel singer, but you have somebody, honey, who was raised in the church and got that spiritual, got that soul all stirred up in them, but they got the younger R&B swag, and that's really what we get with a lot of these singers nowadays, and that's what I get with you as well. And so when I heard pray for our city, it's exactly what we needed.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you the floor, and I'm gonna mute myself and allow you to go ahead and sing for us.
So yeah, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up about the church and all of that. So I have another version of this song. It's a remix, and it'll be released this summer. And a beautiful feature by Monica Trejo, and she's a gospel singer. So I'm very excited for that.
That's awesome. We'll be looking out for it. I'm gonna mute myself so that we can hear you.
Okay. I think I can sing a little bit of here. Can you hear that? Please pray for my city, 'cause somebody took another life yesterday. To the streets, another homicide. And I couldn't even cry, only could pray. 'Cause somebody done lost a baby. And I know what that feels like. Yeah, to ask God why, but hear no reply. So I just look to the sky and I pray for better days. Just look to the sky and pray for better days. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Please pray for my city. Brothers, weapons, selling souls, killing one another just to get by. 911, another suicide. It's just another man dying because of black on black crime. Why are we at war with each other? We need peace in our community. When all we see is racism and brutality in the drop of a dime. Police are killing me. I can't breathe, I'm trying to stay alive. Better days, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, pray for better days. Yeah, 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 yeah. Why can't we all come together to be in harmonious unity? So next time you ask God, just pray for peace. Look yourself in the eye. If you want to make a change, then pray for better days. Better days, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, pray for better days. Yeah, 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 Yeah. Pray for better days. Pray for better days. Look yourself in the eye. If you want to make a change, then pray for better days. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
So they was
I'm
rooting for
sorry, I
you in the
couldn't hear
comment
myself
section
at
too.
first. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Said they were rooting for you in the comment section too, girl.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't hear myself at first, but thank you.
That was amazing. I love that song. You guys, I wish that song actually at least cost $1, but she gonna have some more music coming out. But go and support my Lisa, the real MK. Her videos. We'll post one of the video of Pray for My City. We'll post it on ChangeMakers so you guys can see it. But please support this music that's uplifting for the city, and continue to pray for our city. You know.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, you guys can also donate to Bring Black Up if you want to do that.
Yes.
That we'll really appreciate that.
Yeah. So what do you guys have there? You have Cash App, PayPal. What do you have?
So we have Cash App, and it's just hashtag Bring Black Up, capital B, capital B, capital U.
Okay.
So Bring Black Up, just
Okay.
the B, the B, and the U are capitalized.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Guys, go and support Bring Black Up. We spoke about them earlier. They give to the community, charitable organization, amazing initiative. So please support. Thank you so much, my Lisa. We're going to continue to work with you and support you and keep on writing and using your beautiful voice.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was an honor. I'm so glad to see what you guys are doing in the community. I really appreciate you guys. So thank you so much.
No problem, dear. Happy MLK Day. And we will see you on Inauguration Day. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Peace.
Take care. Peace. All right, guys. So do you have trivia for them, Alicia?
Let me see. That was it. That's
That
it.
they
That's
done?
how
Are they done?
trivia is
Done. All right, guys. So we are going to wrap this thing up with Pastor Dr. Junius Pressey. Where's Dr. Pressey? Is he in here? Did we let him in? Let's let him in.
He's joining.
There we go. I'm so proud to have Dr. Pressey here. Dr. Pressey has been on the front lines supporting activists, supporting organizers. He is an organizer and a pastor himself, been working in the community for a very, 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 very long time. With the NAACP, he supported ChangeMakers when it wasn't popular, still unpopular, to support change, supporting activists, supporting organizers. He is an organizer himself, been working in the community for a very, 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 very long time.
Is that
NAACP? He supported change.
Who has it? Who has their phone playing a video back?
Dr. Pressey, can you mute your phone or your device? Been working in the community for a very, 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 very long time.
Is it?
NAACP, he supported change.
Who has it? Who has their phone playing a video back?
That's not Dr. Pressey. Dr. Pressey.
Nah, I just muted it. It is definitely he has it playing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so we are going to, he was the perfect person to speak about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with, because he has a lot of years working in the community. He advocates for everything that MLK stood for. We need to make sure that we are supporting our modern day activists. And Dr. Pressey is one of those who stand with the young people. He stands for what is right. He stands for what is just. And that there was no better person to have on this platform at this time. And so, Dr. Pressey, we want you to talk to the people, and whatever God puts on your heart to speak about, as it pertains to MLK and his legacy and how it relates to our community. We want you to wrap us up with that. You're on mute. We have to unmute him, Alicia. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to give thanks to God for this opportunity and to thank you and Melissa for inviting me to join your platform because this has been an exciting platform. I have been listening since 5 o'clock to all of your guests. Each one of your guests have been outstanding in their presentation about what they are doing and how they have gotten started. I have been encouraged. And Melissa, I have been encouraged from your comments because you sort of like me. You're a contrarian to a certain extent. When everybody's going right, you're gonna go left. And that's where I have been in the movement itself, because Dr. King was a contrarian, but he was a contrarian who understood how to move to the middle in getting other people to work with him and to understand the mission and the call that God had on his life. And when I came on, I said, now, what is it that I could say to some of these business people and some of the people in our community that are sitting on the fence? And I come to challenge anybody that's sitting on the fence right now. We're in the midst of a major historical movement as Black people in this nation. And it is no time to be sitting on the fence, knowing that we have power within our community. We have seen down in Georgia, as a result of what Dr. King has done in leaving a legacy for young men like Warnock, who have just made history. That just didn't come because of a vacuum. One of the books, I have been a student of Dr. King for years. And one of the books that I have in my library that I think everybody that's interested in knowing who Dr. King is Martin Luther King Jr., The Making of a Mind. See, his mind was made not when he went to college, not when he got his PhD. His mind was forged at an earlier age. And just like you and Melissa, your minds have been forged and you're being developed because you have chose to align yourself with other people who have the same thought pattern about freedom, justice, and equality in our community. And you have not backed down. You have not backed down from the challenge because you understood, as Frederick Douglass once said, freedom, you will not be able to get freedom without a demand. Right. It never will, and it never will, and it never was. Anything that's worthwhile, you have to demand it. You have to demand, you have to call it out. You have to be able to name the issues, and you have to be able to call those issues out, whether you're stepping on somebody's toes or not. Because as Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
That's right.
Whatever happens in Atlanta, whatever happens in Accra, Ghana, whatever happens in Australia, whatever happens in the UK, if it's injustice, if it's not dealt with, sooner or later, it will be at your supper table. Sooner or later, it's going to be in your house. And so tonight, what do I want to say that's going to encourage people tonight? I had an opportunity to listen to, let me see what her name is. Her name is Elisa Gaza. Elisa Gaza, who is one of the founders and promoters of Black Lives Matter. She just wrote a book entitled The Purpose of Power. And I had an opportunity to hear her story. And if anybody really want to know what Dr. Martin Luther King's celebration is all about and being of service in the community, it's about serving so that the power that we have would not be taken for granted. We're here to serve and to honor Dr. King because Dr. King didn't really want to give his life. Dr. King on one occasion, matter of fact, when he was down in Memphis, when he began to receive all the threats and about coming to Memphis, he made one statement in his presentation before he was assassinated. He said, I like to live a long life because longevity has its purpose. He wanted to live to see his dream become a reality. He wanted to live to enjoy his family and see his kids grow up from the work that he was fighting for other people to realize themselves. He really didn't want to die, but he came to a conclusion that if he had to die, he said, I've looked over and I've seen the lightning flash. I saw what God has called me to see. And he said, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of dying. And that's where you have to be in the civil rights movement, is that you can't stand out there speaking loud and standing tall and not be willing to put yourself on the line for what you believe. As a matter of fact, Dr. King said, if a man or a woman don't have anything to die for, you don't even have a right to live.
Whew.
Come on now. If you're not willing to die for what you believe, what purpose is living? Because that is the purpose of power. Power conceives nothing without a demand. Power commands risk. Power commands stepping on somebody's toes when things are going wrong.
That's right.
And you have to stand in line and say, look, what you did is wrong. And that's what Dr. King stood on, was the moral values of America. As a matter of fact, when I was 17 years old, I grew up in the state of Virginia. I was born in segregation. I know what segregation is all about. I've seen the white only signs when we used to go downtown and couldn't go into a regular restroom without seeing colored only or whites only, or to see my parents traveling from Virginia going to Maryland to visit cousins, and we had to pack all of our lunches and meals because we couldn't stop at service stations and stop at hotels or stop at a restaurant. We had to stop on the side of the road and have a meal with the family as we were traveling, going to and fro. So I understood the other side of segregation. And I'll never forget, my father had all of us children to stand around the new television set that he just bought. Had a little small screen. It was a little black and white television. And he said, kids, we want you to get around this television because Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is getting ready to speak in Washington, D.C. Everybody in our community, because we lived in an all-black community, everybody that had a television or didn't have a television, our house was full of our neighbors, because not everybody had a television. And we heard that speech in Washington, D.C. As a matter of fact, that was in August. My father decided, I was going into the 10th grade. My father decided that his son was going to be part of integrating the largest white high school in my community, and was Hampton High School. 10 Black students, 5 brothers and 5 sisters. We integrated Hampton High School in 1963. And even though we all went through trials and tribulations, in 1966, all 10 of us graduated in the first integrated class of Hampton High School out of a student body of 638 students that graduated in that year.
Wow.
And we're still standing. And so to talk about where we are today, we must never, ever forget that whatever is worth fighting, I'm just going to give you a couple of things that we need to do. If you're a business owner, stand up and fight for your business. You got to step up and you got to stand up and fight for your business. Secondly, whenever there are issues in the community, you have to be able to stand up in your humanity and be concerned about what's happening to your community, because many of those individuals in your community may end up being your clients. And you cannot run a business being in a vacuum. You cannot run your business not going to city hall or school board meetings or council meetings and share your concerns about what's happening in the community with your neighbors. And because what's happening to your neighbors ultimately is going to impact your business. When you stand up, you got to stand up and be strong. I remember as president of the NAACP, I had a career at Lincoln Life Insurance Company here in Fort Wayne. I was on an airplane 60% of my time, traveling all over the country, teaching individuals how to sell investment products. And I remember we had a gentleman in our community. He went to the bank to get a loan to start a business, and the bank would not loan him the money. Guess what? I had a friend of mine that worked in the investment department in Lincoln National, because insurance companies invest a lot of money. And we got together and we pulled our heads together and said, what could we do to help this businessman get next to the owner of the business, the president of the company, so that he could get some influence and get some money? And what did we do? Myself, the president of the Urban League, the president of the Black Business Association, we put together a symposium, and we deliberately had the president of this Black company to sit next to the president of the company so that they would be able to develop a relationship. And during that seminar, the president spoke, the Black business owner spoke, and 3 weeks later, we were able to route $250,000 from Lincoln's investment into this company. And that company was Stewart Manufacturing on Wallet Street.
I used to work there.
Come on, Stewart Manufacturing on Wallet Street under the leadership of Clarence Stewart. Yes. Clarence Stewart was from Panama, but he started a business here, and it was that shot in the arm that gave him an opportunity for that company to grow and flourish until his death. And so what I'm trying to say to you, as a business owner, you have to be able to step up, you have to be able to speak up, you have to be able to stand strong, and you have to be able to stay human in your dealings in the community. When I say human, be able to feel and touch what others are going through so that you will be able to, in your influence, to help them out. So those are some steps that I have for the business people. Step up, speak up, yes, and stand strong where you are. Because if you don't step up and you don't speak up, you will not receive the opportunities that is afforded to you when you don't show up and you don't demand that certain things happen that will allow your business to flourish. And thirdly, and then lastly, every business owner that's in business, you have a responsibility to look at legacy. What legacy will your business leave in the community? What legacy will your business leave for your children or those that will be working for you? If you die today, will someone be able to step up and carry on that legacy of that business? If you are not into legacy and you die today and that business fold, you have just become a failure. You're doing well right now, but if you die and you have not put in place and trained leaders to take your place. You have become a total failure because your legacy would not go on. So we have to be about legacy. Dr. King left a legacy.
Yes.
And we can see a tragedy of a legacy. When I came up, we had Jet Magazine, we had Ebony Magazine, John Johnson with Dr. Lerone Bennett writing awesome Black history books for us to understand our history. When Dr. Johnson died, look at where that business is now. Come on, legacy.
Legacy.
Was not maintained.
Come on, type it in the comments, y'all. Legacy.
Come on, you gotta look at legacy. And the reason why you have to look at legacy, here's another book that Dr. King wrote. And this book was written when I was serving in South Korea, my first tour of duty. He wrote this book when we was fighting for our freedom. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community? And one of the things that Dr. King wrote in this book, and I'm glad that you ladies have put this program together. You are doing an awesome job of recognizing unsung heroes in our community. The small business person is an unsung hero, but I have to challenge the small business person. You must elevate your vision. You must elevate your vision because the average small business only earns roughly about $54,000 a year. That's just for you, yourself, and I, and your family. You are not growing a business where you can hire other people. You need to elevate your business, your vision, so that you can get the whole pie rather than a piece of the pie. The whole pie is out there. Shoot for the whole pie. And if you shoot for the whole pie, and if you don't get the whole pie, you may get a good half slice. Come on now. I heard a guy say one time, if you shoot for the stars, and if you miss the star, you may land right on the moon.
Okay.
Come on now.
Dr. Preston, you are preaching to my spirit. That go for the whole pie thing. I mean, listen, that resonates with me so strongly.
Yes, you got to go for the whole pie.
Yeah, oftentimes we will accept crumbs because we're used to getting nothing.
And I'm gonna tell you why you got to go for the whole pie. I heard one of the young ladies, she didn't tell you right out, but I was reading through the lines. You asked her, how did she get started? And she said, you know, things happen. I know what happened. She was working for somebody else, giving them her skills, and they were not compensating her correctly for those skills. They were making profits from her, but they were not reciprocating back to her. How do I know that? When I was with Lincoln Life, I'm going to give you a story. When I was with Lincoln Life, I traveled to the city of Philadelphia. We had a Black mayor at that time, Mayor Gooden. Mayor Gooden was the mayor. And I had an opportunity to go and represent Lincoln Life at a meeting to determine what company was going to get their employee compensation plan and the money to be invested in our company. Guess what? Lincoln Life was chosen. $25 million came into our company. Did the boy here get compensated? I'm gonna tell you what happened. My boss got a big bonus at the end of the year, and it was around Christmas time. He invited us to come to his home. There was 4 of us regional managers traveling all over the country, bringing in big money for the company. And we thought we were gonna get a bonus. He gonna bring us to his house and have just a dinner for us and didn't put a compensation check in our hand. We were upset. And I think I was the last of the 4 that decided that we can do better by ourselves. And that's how I left the company in 1986. And I started my own financial planning Corporation here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And let me tell you about that. I started that company to do financial planning. But in my financial planning, I met a guy who owned the company, and he wanted to computerize that. This was back in the 80s. That's when 8 megahertz was supposed to have been fast, but it wasn't. But 8 megahertz was what they used. He wanted to computerize his company. And he asked me, he said, JB, I'm going to hire you as my consultant to investigate and to share with me what it's going to take to computerize my company. Took me 4 months to do the research. I put together my plan, went back to him. He loved the plan. Then he hired me to implement the plan. And I went from a financial planner to starting my own computer company, mid-tech computer company in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I ran that company for 11 years, helping companies to computerize. Matter of fact, I computerized the first Black law office here in Fort Wayne, Love and James Law Office here in Fort Wayne. And because of that computerization, Don James computerized, I helped him to develop a software package to help those that were getting a divorce to come up with a settlement for child support. And guess what? The lawyers and the court stole our plan and implemented that plan in the court system. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you got to stand up, you got to speak up, and regardless of the obstacles that you go through, never, ever quit. Because the best place to always be is in business for yourself. Why? Because you at the top of the money chain. You at the top of making decisions on where you're gonna go. You at the top of whether or not you want to get up at 8 o'clock or whether you want to get up at 7 o'clock.
And Dr. Pressey, we thank you so much for speaking to the business owners as well as just community members. We knew that you would be the perfect person to come on here because this is what you do. Like, this is a conversation that you and I could have just on the phone any random day. But just you being a student of MLK and also being a person that has carried on his legacy was very important for us to have you on here because we are walking in that same legacy. Today, we wanted to take the time to speak to the community and give voice to the people who have been in the shadows in the community because that is what MLK did. MLK did not just advocate for Black people, but he advocated for poor people. You know why? Because most of those poor people were what? Black. Right. So the thing is that we have in Fort Wayne, we have an amazing opportunity to change the culture, to change practices. But we have to, as a community, have to make the decision that we're going to stand together no matter what. In making this change. And it's not going to be pretty. Right, Dr. Pressey? It's not supposed to be pretty and pristine and professional all the time. When MLK was in the street getting arrested and getting rocks thrown at him and fire hose shot at him, that wasn't pretty. And he did it time and time again.
You know, and one of the other things that business people that I hope that they will look at going forward, if your environment is not good to you, because you can have the best plans, you can have the best goals, but the culture in which your business is trying to grow is not conducive for your growth, you don't have to stay here. You can operate your business anywhere. Now, I have been to Africa, I have been to China, I have been to Brazil, I have been to the Bahamas, I have been all over this country. And what I'm saying to you as business owners as well, if your culture is not conducive for you, take a look at Africa. Africa is now becoming the new frontier for entrepreneurship. They are looking for good businesses. I met a young lady when I was there the last time. She was a Ghanaian, but she came to the United States to get her education. She graduated from Southern Cal. She decided, I'm going to take my skills back to my country. And when she took her skills back to her country, guess what she's doing? She's in northern Ghana developing solar farms to bring electricity to those rural areas. So what I'm saying to you, if America is not good to you, look to Africa and other countries that will welcome you. There are countries in Africa that's looking for good entrepreneurs, and you have an opportunity to meet Africans in this country, develop good relationships, get a chance to get out of this country and find out what can you do, and decide that if you want to go there, go there.
And so, Dr. Pressy, we really thank you for that as well, because I've actually spoken about that before, just leaving. But before we leave, we wanted to take the opportunity, because we know that today is a day of reflection. It should be a day of a reflection, internal reflection, as well as community reflection. And so if you could give us one word, a short word of advice to community members regarding, we know that on Wednesday we have Inauguration Day. We know that there's going to be some type of debacle that happens. We know that I heard many people say, why do we care? Why should we care? We should just sit back, and that's their problem. But the reason why it was such a problem, the White House, the Capitol being overran, was because when we were out here peaceful protesting, we were jailed and abused. And so what it was just another slap in our face saying that you don't matter, but we do. We have the power, you do not. And so if we could just take a moment to reflect upon how MLK's legacy could help us move forward and progress in this fight. What can you tell the community members moving forward? What should we take from MLK's legacy?
Well, what it's going to take is right here. Are we going to go in chaos, or are we going to be community? Dr. King described in this book everything that we need in 1967. He said in this book, we have everything in our community to be successful. We have Black churches, we got Black sororities and fraternities, we have Black organizations, we have civil rights organizations. We need to come together. We need to come together because we have one thing in common. We are Black in America. We are Black in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We have people of other colors in this community, Indians and Latinos and Hispanics. We have to come together because, believe it or not, the reason why we had a run on Washington, D.C. is because the white supremacists and the racists in this country know that by 2045, America is going to be predominantly a nation of color. And these white racists don't want to lose their power. They ran on Washington because they wanted to usurp the government, just like they did in 1877. After the Civil War, we had the Civil War ended in 1865. Then we had the 1866 Civil Rights Bill. Then we had other bills that came in, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. And guess what happened? We started using our power at the voting booth, and we began to start electing people like we're doing today. But then in 1877, Rutherford B. Hayes cut a deal with Ulysses Grant to give back the South their control. And all of a sudden, because of that, we had Ku Klux Klan, we have Jim Crow laws, we had Plessy versus Ferguson that put separate but equal in our economy. And it took Thurgood Marshall in 1954 with his group to override that decision that said that separate but equal was inherently unconstitutional. So what I'm saying to you, we got to know our history, because our history is a weapon. And what these people have tried to do today, they were trying to override and to turn back the time to put us back in our place. We have gotten too uppity. We have gotten too boisterous. We are demanding our freedom and our rights, and they don't like it. That's why we gotta stand up. We gotta speak up, and we gotta stand strong. And especially as Black men, it's no time for Black men sitting down talking about it. What good is it? Why should I be in the fight? You better be in the fight. You better stay in that fight if you want to protect your family. You want to protect your community. You want to protect your job. If you don't get in the fight, somebody else will.
Come on.
And I just want to leave this with you. Dr. King, I will never forget. Before Dr. King went to Montgomery to become pastor at 16th Street Baptist Church, there was another pastor at that church before Dr. King. His name was Dr. Vernon John. He was from my state of Virginia. He was an evangelist, but he was at that church before Dr. King, and he began to start kicking up the heels in that community before Dr. King got there. Can I tell you what he said?
What he said?
John Lewis says, we got to fight a good fight. We got to get into a good fight. But Dr. Vernon John said this: when you see a good fight, jump in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
That's my kind
That's
of
right.
there.
See, you just can't sit back when you see a good fight. You better jump in that good fight, because it's in the good fight that you're going to find out that when you're in that fight, you're going to find out that others are going to be encouraged by what you are doing. They may not jump in there with you because of where they are, but guess what? They're going to edge you on. That's why I came on tonight. I'm edging my sister, Delana. I'm edging my sister, Melissa. Stay in the fight. Stand your ground. Don't let nobody turn you around. Speak loud, speak boldly to the issues of Fort Wayne. And guess what? As Sam Cooke says, your change is going to come.
Yes.
Come on, your change is going to come.
You wrapped it all up for us. That's it. That is it.
So you just need to have other men to come along what you're doing in this change maker.
That's right.
Because if we're going to do it together, come on.
Come on. Community over
chaos.
chaos.
Chaos or community. I'm challenging right now. Urban League, NAACP, you need to work with change makers, because they can say some things that you may not want to say, but you're heading in the same direction. And if they're members of the NAACP, you cannot afford to backtrack and put them on the sideline, because they're supporting the NAACP, they're supporting the Urban League, they're supporting other organizations in the community. Because wherever they put their money at, that's where their treasure is. And I would encourage each and every one of you that's listening tonight, you need a membership in the NAACP, you need a membership at the Fort Wayne Urban League, and you need a membership and support Change Makers of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pressy. Listen, guys, as far as message goes, we're wrapped. That is it. Dr. Pressy said everything we needed to know. Community over chaos, and jump in. That is it.
Join the fight.
Dr. Pressy, thank you so much for
inviting me.
For everything.
You know, before I leave, I was going to say there's a word that I learned from Kenya. Tuko Pajama. We are together. And there's another word is Sankofa. Sankofa means that we are to look back and always learn from our past.
Yes.
And then there's a Swahili word, Sabona. When I see you, that means I see you. In other words, when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at all the potential that you have, and I'm looking forward for it to come forth into the community.
Wow.
So my word to you tonight, Sabona.
Woo, thank you. We're going to have to stop.
Okay.
Thank you. We
Amen.
received that, Dr. Pressy,
All
for
right.
sure. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
God
Okay,
bless you.
talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
A lot of knowledge and
So
wisdom.
we're almost wrapped, guys. We're just gonna shout out our sponsors
Yes.
because they are very important to us. Before we shout out our sponsors, can you guys do us a favor and go to your YouTube app, wherever you are, on your laptop, on your phone? Can you go to YouTube right now and search ChangeMakers Fort Wayne? And if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell, we would greatly appreciate it, because our lives from today forward will be on our YouTube channel. And we don't want you guys to miss when we go live. If you click the bell, you will get an alert every time we go live. So if you guys can, take a moment right now, go over to our YouTube page, ChangeMakers Fort Wayne, and click subscribe. And we greatly appreciate that. Now, last but
Content on
certainly
here,
not,
y'all. We got some good videos and some good content. Y'all got to check those out.
yes, content that's not on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Now we wanna finalize things with shouting out our sponsors, the people who made tonight possible. We are going to, ChangeMakers, along with our sponsors, are going to send gifts to each and every one of these businesses tonight. We want to make sure that they know that we see them. Like Dr. Pressy just said, that he see us and he see our potential in the community. For every business that came on tonight, we see you. Was it Sabona? We see you, and we see your potential in the community, and we really appreciate you. And we're gonna send gifts to each and every one of those groups. Every donation that we receive for them, we will be sending to those groups. And so we want to shout them out. So we have our first sponsor, who is Chip Cold Iron. Chip Cold Iron for Congress. Hey. Chip Cold Iron is a community supporter. He has supported ChangeMakers, and he will be doing even more with us in the near coming future. So shout out to Chip Cold Iron for supporting and sponsoring 2 businesses for tonight.
Our second sponsor was Kristen Giant. She also supported 2 businesses tonight. She has been a voice, a powerful
Look, y'all,
voice
she has
of
been
accountability.
a voice.
Yes, a voice.
For Black people in Fort Wayne. And you are appreciated, Kristen.
Absolutely.
Every word that you type. And I'll tell you this, no matter what anyone says, honey, you know that you are doing the right thing. And not one bit of what you have done is wrong. So you go forward and don't look back. That's it. You move forward and keep doing what you're doing, and you don't look back, don't look to the side, and don't listen to naysayers. Amen. The rest of it, I'll tell you in person, girl. Okay. All right. So Kristen sponsored 2 businesses. Stephanie, I hope I say this correctly. O'Shaughnessy sponsored a business tonight. We thank you so much, Stephanie. Stephanie is also one of our Facebook supporters. Andrea Noble sponsored 2 businesses. Thank you so much, Andrea. And for the people that we don't know well, we look forward to getting to know you better in the near future. And my friend, Katie Smith, we want to thank you as well. Katie sponsored a business as well with the Brandon Foundation, who are doing amazing things in the community with underserved youth. And so we thank all of our sponsors, everyone who donated. So many of you all donated, and we thank all of you and appreciate all of you. Thank you all for staying with us tonight. This video will be available on YouTube in 3 different parts, so that you guys can watch it in increments if you missed it. So thank you. Alicia, do you have anything else to say? Happy MLK
Thanks for tuning
Day.
in. Happy MLK Day. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And
we love you all. We're going to continue to love on our community. Let's shout out our businesses one more time.
We have From Lola with Love, Roundabout Notary. We have Liquid Gold Entertainment. We had CMOS by Slay, Bring Black Up, The Real MK.
Hey.
Who am I forgetting? Leaving
Legacy Memorial, Leaving
yes.
Legacy Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thank all of those businesses. We know that we're going to be hearing from them in the near future, but just know that if you are a business who, or a person, an organizer, activist who don't always feel seen or heard, just know that we are seeking you out because we want to shout you out. We see you, we hear you, we encourage you, we congratulate everyone for making it through 2020. And we're the change makers. Peace out.